Got it?
I got it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Well, hi there, you two. Well, honey, this is your big day.
Oh, Paige, I'm so nervous.
Oh, there's nothing to be nervous about. You're going to have a wonderful time.
See, isn't that what I told you, huh?
Yeah, I know, but it's just thinking about New York and Chicago. I never dreamed I was going to be going to places like that.
Oh, I think this is just the beginning, honey. I can see you flying to Rome, Paris.
Oh, Paige, I wish you hadn't said that. That just scares me half to death.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to travel that far away from home.
Oh, well, I don't think that's anything we have to worry about just the second.
Well, I wonder when Roger's going to get here, huh?
Oh, he just called. The limo's on its way.
He's picking me up in a limousine?
Yeah.
What do I know about limousines?
Well, I don't think you need to know a lot about limousines. All you do is sit back and relax.
But, Paige, I'm not used to stuff like that.
Well, you better get used to it, honey, because that's the way Roger operates. Billy Joe, will you come talk to your wife, please, and tell her everything's going to be all right? I've got some calls to make.
Honey, what is it? What's wrong?
Do you think I'm doing the right thing?
What do you mean?
Traveling all over the country, first-class plane seats and limousines.
You're entitled to the best, Nita.
You're such a sweetheart.
I'm going to miss you.
You just say the word.
What?
If you really don't want me to go, you just tell me, and I will cancel the trip.
No, Barker, that's not what I wanted to hear. No, but thank you for your thoroughness anyway. All right, but keep in touch. Bye.
Grant?
Bye, Rena.
Hi. Any word on Brett and Mark?
I was just talking to the head of security.
What did he have to say?
Well, he's got some news on Miles Rehnquist.
What?
He was shot.
Shot?
He was murdered.
Hey, what is this stuff?
It's called Desert Delight.
Why is it called that?
Because it's got pineapples and dates.
That's pretty good. I'll have some more.
You better not eat too much, Ruby.
Why not?
Because we got to conserve what little food we have.
Oh, Rube, you can have my share.
Oh, no, that's all right, Brett. I wouldn't eat your food.
Well, why not? It's just going to go to waste.
Brett, you got to eat your own food.
Ricky, I'm not hungry. I just want to get started, okay?
Brett, you got to keep up your strength. We're not going to go anywhere, Brett, until you eat something.
You guys are ganging up on me.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
You know, this is really something.
Eat.
What's so great about it?
Well, for one thing, it's very old. And I don't know how it got here. You know, there's a lot of stuff in this cave that even Miles doesn't know about.
Are we going to go looking for more stuff like that?
You bet we are.
Well, I thought we were just going to find this secret chamber place and then hightail it out of here. I don't think we should stay in here any longer than we have to.
Well, we won't, Ruby, but, you know, on our way to the secret chamber, if we come across something else like this, so much the better.
Just so long as we don't start becoming discoveries ourselves.
What are you getting at?
I just have this real creepy feeling that if we don't get out of here pretty soon, we're all going to turn into mummies. I think we should just get what we've come for and get out as fast as we can.
You'd cancel your trip for me?
If you really want me to. Don't you know you're the most important thing in the world to me?
Yeah, but your career's important too.
No, not as important as you are. I've been doing some thinking, honey. And I've been realizing how much pressure you've been under, what with your TV show and all those Ace High commercials you have to do. And I don't want to be the one to add to that pressure.
Well, now how would you be doing that?
Well, if I leave, you're going to have to be spending a lot more time with Billy Joe Jr.
Wait a minute. Don't you think I could take care of myself and Billy Joe Jr. for a few days, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
So what's the big deal?
The big deal is that I was so lonely when we were apart. I just don't want to do anything to separate us again.
Anita, we're not going to let that happen ever again.
Yeah, but how about all these trips I'm going to be taking? Roger says I'm going to have to be doing a lot of traveling.
Well, then that's just something we're going to have to handle when the time comes. Nita, I want you to have yourself a great time on this trip, and I want you to be a real big success. Okay? Huh?
I'm going to miss you.
Well, you make it sound like you're going on a trip to the moon or something.
Well, I
here.
feel like that sometimes. I mean, me, Nita Wright, going to New York City and Chicago. Back in Waco, I never dreamed I'd be doing things like this.
Nita, we're both on our way. But if we love each other, our love's as strong as we both know it is, we're not going to have any problems. We're just not going to let that happen, all right?
I love you.
I love you too.
Here is the grocery list. Chili, beans, onions, bean sprouts. Ruby is going to have a fit when she comes back and finds out that I let Wayne put Chinese dishes on the menu.
Well, wait till you hear his latest idea.
Now what?
He thinks that instead of serving peanuts on the bar, we should have little bowls all over the place with fortune cookies in them.
Now he's gone too far. Ruby would have my hide if I let him get away with something like that.
Well, I'm just passing on the message.
I know you are, Elena. I didn't mean to snap at you.
You didn't.
I really appreciate your giving me a hand with this place.
Oh, come on, it's no problem. Actually, I'm enjoying it.
Really?
Well, sure. I think we make a great team.
I don't know how I could have done it without you.
Is it my imagination, or is business getting better around here?
It sure is. Money's just pouring in. But the more people that come in, the more problems.
You mean like last night?
Elena, I was really afraid we were going to have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, but you handled it perfectly. You had those two guys apologizing to one another before they knew what hit them.
Well, I was really scared there for a couple of minutes. I thought they were going to tear this place apart. Well, hi! Miss Kate, Jenny, what are you doing here?
Well, Darlene, we just came to see how you're doing. It's been so long.
I know.
Too long.
Oh, good to see you. Oh, it's good to see you, too. You know, I can't tell you how often I thought about driving out to the ranch.
Well, I wish you had. You know, we've missed you.
I've missed you, too. Thank you, Kate.
What are you doing here at this time of day? I thought you sang here at night.
Well, I do. It's just that I'm helping Lurleen out here while Ruby's out of town.
Oh, good. You'd make a much better partner than Ruby Wright.
Kate, we agreed.
All right. I'm sorry, Lurleen.
Sorry about what?
Well, I promised Jenny I wouldn't start on Ruby Wright.
Well, we should try to get to know her a little better, Miss Kate. She's a good friend.
Well, what's she up to now?
Well, she's in Nashville.
What's she doing there?
She's arranging to have a record produced for Ricky.
Listen, I better get going.
Well, you just got here.
I know, but I told Ryan I'd meet him at World Oil.
Well, now don't you make yourself a stranger around here.
I'll see you back at the ranch.
Bye, Lurleen.
Bye-bye. How's Ricky doing?
I don't know. You know, I haven't heard from him in a couple of days.
Well, maybe he went to Nashville with Ruby.
He would have mentioned it to me.
Well, it's odd you haven't been able to reach him.
Grant, listen to me. There's nothing more you can do right now.
There has to be, Rena. I was worried before. I had no idea how much danger they were in until I found out that Miles Rehnquist was murdered.
But Miles was working on his own. He didn't have anybody behind him looking after him. Brett does. Mark and Ricky are with her.
Rena, whoever is behind this, and whatever they're after, it's obvious that they're willing to kill to find it.
I have to believe they know the risks. I'm sure they took every precaution they could.
It's not good enough. I've got to find High Topaz.
Have you talked to Ginny?
No.
She knows Miles Rehnquist better than anybody.
Except Brett.
Don't dwell on that. Talk to Ginny.
All right, I will.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you better talk to Ryan first. Let him know what's happened. Professor Rehnquist's death is going to hit Ginny pretty hard.
You're absolutely right. Sarah, would you ask Mr. Connor to come to my office as soon as possible? Yes, thank you.
didn't get much sleep last night, did you?
No. If Brett and Mark...
I'm not going to let you get away with that.
With what?
Blaming yourself for something that isn't your fault. Brett is a very strong-willed woman. You couldn't have stopped her if you wanted to. Listen, I think Lurleen is holding back some information. If I tell her that Miles Rehnquist was murdered, she might open up to me a little more than she has.
Rena, thank you for involving yourself in this.
I love you.
You're a very special person.
So are you.
Fault, Vivian. You shouldn't feel guilty.
How else should I feel? Mr. Wheeler is very upset about Miss Brett and Mr. Mark, and it's all my fault.
Well, I don't follow your logic.
I'm in charge of taking care of this house, right?
Yes.
That involves taking care of the Wheeler family. It's my job to make sure that they're properly fed.
You're a very good
To
cook.
make sure their clothes, they're clean and mended.
My shirts have never looked better. What does this have to do with Brett and Mark's disappearance?
The mail, John. It's my job to make sure that every member of this family gets its mail. And that letter from Professor Rehnquist was lost in this drawer. And maybe if Miss Brett had gotten that letter when it was delivered, she'd still be here.
You can't think like that, Vivian. Negative thought processes often result in self-destructive behavior patterns.
What?
I mean, there's no point crying over spilled milk, Vivian. Look, we got to try to do something about it.
What?
All right, now, Mr. Wheeler's primary concern seems to be locating this high-toe-pop place, right?
How can I do that?
We, Vivian, we could try to help Mr. Wheeler find it.
Do you have any ideas?
We could start at the library. Yeah, I'm pretty handy around the library, if I do say so myself.
Do you really think that we could find it?
I think it's worth a try. You game?
Well, I don't know, John. I wouldn't know how to start looking for something like
I
that.
thought you said you wanted to help Mr. Wheeler.
I do!
Okay, well then, let's go. Now, come on. Let's get your coat.
Get my keys!
And your keys. Where are they?
I am really worried about Ricky. I mean, it's not like him not to show up at work at KVIK or the Top of the World Club.
Well, my guess is that Ruby talked him into going to Nashville with her.
I just hope we hear from him soon. Me too.
Lurleen, honey, when are you going to come out to the ranch and see us? Now, we missed you.
Oh, I miss you too, Miss Kate. It's just that I've been real busy these days running the place.
Well, how you ever got involved in this place is beyond me.
Kate, it's a real nice place, and the people here are real friendly.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, we should stop worrying about me, Miss Kate. I'm just fine. Well, I'm glad Lurleen's here. Thanks to her, I'm working again.
All right. I'll just let it go. I'll keep my worries to myself.
Well, you should. Lurleen's doing just fine.
Do you two have any idea how proud I am of you? You know, you've grown up to be such fine, independent young women.
Well, we learned that from you, Kate. You know, you're the strongest, most self-sufficient woman I've ever met.
I miss you, too. Sometimes it gets real lonely out the ranch. We used to have such good times out there, didn't we?
We sure did. You know what I remember most about all those years out at the ranch?
What, honey?
You always made me feel so special when I was a little girl.
You were special.
No, I wasn't. I was just an ordinary little kid. But that's not the way you made me feel. I know what she means. You know, you always made me feel like I was part of the Marshall family.
I know how difficult it was for you two, growing up without your parents.
You know, I still think about my mom a lot. I used to pretend that she was just going to show up at the ranch and everything would be wonderful again. I used to have dreams like that, too. I even had a whole pretend family. You know what?
What, honey?
My pretend family was just like your family, Miss Kate.
Lurleen, you and Elena are as much my family as my own kin. And I want you to remember that. But now, just because you're grown up doesn't mean you don't need family and that you're not going to have problems. Look, I want you to feel you can talk to me about anything.
You know, I remember all those times we used to sit out on the porch and talk. Remember, Elena, Miss Kay always used to bring us iced tea. Oh, and iced tea, and iced tea. How could I forget that?
Well, there's always a pitcher of iced tea in the icebox. Look, if you find yourself in a tight spot, come on out to the ranch. I'll bring out the tea, and we'll sit around and solve all our problems together as a family.
Do you think Gretchen's still out there?
You can count on that. Bet she even has reinforcements by now.
What does she want?
Ruby, she's after the same thing we're after, and that's why it's important not to waste any time.
Someday I'm going to get even with her for all the terrible things that she's done.
Well, right now, I think it's better to be more concerned that she doesn't get us first. Okay, everybody ready? Yep.
Which way are we going? That way.
Listen, whichever way we go, the important thing is that we stick together. You ladies got that?
Ricky, don't worry. Ruby and I are not going to go wandering off.
Yeah, after what we went through in that hole, we're going to stick to you guys like wallpaper. Isn't that right, Brett?
Well, looks like we're going this way.
Now come, Brad! Where?
Wait up, Brett.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, I have that.
Is my star ready?
Hi, Roger. Hi, Roger. I guess I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Billy Joe, I'm going to be taking real good care of your wife for you. I don't want you worrying about a thing. Yeah, well, I'm counting on you. I'm going to put this little lady's name on the map.
Well, there's something that I want you to promise me, Roger.
What?
That you don't run her so ragged that when she gets back here, she can't function, because I need her.
Don't worry about a thing. Nita's going to get the red carpet treatment all the way. She's not going to have to lift a finger. She deserves the best. She'll get it. Well, we better be going.
Okay, I guess this is it, huh?
Oh, honey, have a wonderful
Bye, babe.
Bye-bye. We're thinking about
Father with those, Billy Joe. I'll take care of that. All right?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a couple of days.
Okay. All right.
Well, I guess I'm going to be seeing you in a few days, huh?
Okay. Oh, Billy Joe.
What?
Make sure that Billy Joe Jr. gets to Dr. Wendell's office tomorrow morning.
Okay, don't worry about that, honey. I got
Okay.
that all marked down.
And, tell him good night for me and tell him how much I love him every single day, okay?
Don't you worry about that.
All right. I'm ready to go. Oh,
What?
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you, too.
Aren't you gonna kiss me goodbye?
You bet I am. I hate to break this up, but we've got a plane to catch. Yeah. Safe trip, huh?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, honey. Have a good time. Goodbye, Roger.
Safe trip, huh?
Are you all right, Billy Joe?
Well, why wouldn't I be? Nita's off to a great big start in her career. Why shouldn't I be happy?
I think you could use a cup of coffee.
I think I'd like that.
Are you sure you don't need me to hang around here for a little while? Oh, heck no, Elena. We've just about got everything done.
Well, now, it'd be good for you to go with us. Come on, honey. Let's go shopping and have lunch. You need to forget about this place now and then.
Oh, Miss Kate, that's real sweet of you, but I've got to keep an eye on Wang.
Now, he isn't bothering you, is he?
Oh, no. It's just that he wants to turn this place into a Chinese restaurant. If I leave him alone, I'll come back and find he's put a pagoda in the middle of the room.
Well, that would give the place a different look.
Hello, everybody. This almost looks like a reunion.
We just missed Jenny. She's on her way over to World Oil.
Oh, I'm sure I'll see her there.
Honey, yeah, I'd love to stay and chat, but we're just on our way. We're going to go shopping, and then we're going to have lunch.
Think we can have lunch sometime together?
Well, sure, I'd love that.
Okay.
See you, Lillian. You sure you don't need me? I'll be back in a little while. No, Elena. Take the time. I can manage fine. It's nice to see you.
Lurleen, I want some answers.
Answers about what?
You've been holding back information about Miles Rehnquist.
Now, why would you say something like that?
He's dead. You knew about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew that.
Well, now the police know it. They found his body in Galveston Bay. Honey, don't you understand how serious this is? You've got to tell me everything you know.
Oh, Rena.
Mark, Ruby, and Brett are in danger.
I know, Rena. I am so worried about them.
Then tell me what you know. You've got to help me, Lurleen.
Ruby, what's wrong now?
Can we rest for a minute?
Oh, Ruby, can't we just go on a little while longer?
No, Ricky, my feet are killing me. I'm not used to this hiking stuff like you guys are.
Brett, we gotta stop. Ruby needs a... Brett! Where are you?
Where is she, Ricky?
She's gone.
Now, how could she be gone? She was just a few feet in front of you.
Yeah. Brett! Brett! Where are you? Brett!
Well, I just wanted to tell you how proud I am of you, Billy Joe.
Me? What did I do?
Well, I know how Nita's going away was bothering you, and you made it easy. I think that was real sweet.
Well, I don't know if I had that much choice.
What do you mean?
Can I be honest?
You know you can.
I've never been that crazy about this whole designing thing.
Well, I knew that's how you felt about it at first, but I thought you'd gotten over that.
Well, I'm trying to, but it isn't easy. I guess I'm just an old-fashioned sort of guy.
Why do you say that?
Paige, I don't like the idea of my wife having a career of her own. I just want her at home with me and Billy Joe Jr., that's all.
Well, have you ever thought about just sitting her down and telling her that straight out?
No, I can't. Paige, I've seen how happy she is when she's doing those drawings. She's like a different person. How can I not let her do something that means that much to her?
I know it does mean a lot to her. Nita doesn't have a lot of self-confidence now, too, Billy Joe, and this is giving it to her.
I know that.
Okay, well then what's the problem?
What if she gets so much confidence that she doesn't need me anymore?
Now, Billy
What if I'm not good
Joe,
enough for her?
don't say that.
Well, that's how I
Don't
feel.
even think that. Well, then you're wrong. Nita loves you so much. If you were to ask her, I know she would give up this career in a second.
You really think so?
I know so. But I also think it would be a big mistake. She happens to be very talented, and it would be a shame to let that talent die, Billy Joe.
I know what you're saying makes a lot of sense in my head, but not in my heart.
I know. It's only normal.
I suppose you're right. If you want something bad enough, you can make it work out.
Well, I believe that.
You and TJ have your own careers, and you're making it work out. It's the least me and Nita can do. You and TJ are getting along all right, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Paige. Now, you're always there to listen to my problems. Now, if there's something wrong, you can sure tell me.
Me, I'm overreacting, I think.
Well, I know what that's all about. Like you said, if you love somebody enough, you can make things work out. You do love TJ, don't you?
Oh, Billy Joe. I love him so much.
Then what's wrong?
I guess I'm just not practicing what I preach.
What?
Well, here I am lecturing to you that if you and Nita love each other, you can make anything work out, and I'm just not listening to myself. It's pretty darn good advice.
Oh, Ryan, thank you for coming. I'm sorry I wasn't in the office when you came in, but I was down in the map room looking over these things.
Well, no problem. My secretary said you want to see me.
Yeah, that's right.
What's up?
Well, actually, I want to talk with Ginny.
Jenny.
Well, it's a matter of some delicacy, and I wanted to fill you in before I talk with her.
Come on, what are you getting at?
I need some information on Miles Rehnquist.
Rehnquist? What do you want to know about him?
Well, I know that he and Ginny were friends.
Yeah, that's right.
He's dead. He was murdered.
What happened?
He was shot. His body was floating in Galveston Bay.
And Ginny was right, wasn't she?
About what?
She said he was in danger. What's going on?
I have no idea. Brett and Ricky took off.
What did she say?
Absolutely nothing. They just took off.
Well, then how do you know what she's up to?
Because somehow Mark found out. And then he and Ruby Wright took off. Ryan. The four of them are in danger.
Where'd she go?
I hope nothing terrible has happened to her.
How could she have disappeared? She was just a few feet in front of us. Damn, I hate the thought of her being out there alone.
What are we gonna do, Ricky?
Brad!
Brad! Brad! Can you hear us?
You're gonna tell me everything you know, Lurleen.
I promised Ruby I wouldn't say anything.
Her life is in danger.
I know that, Rena. Gretchen probably is after all of them by now.
Who's Gretchen?
You remember our next door neighbor? The one at the housewarming party?
Yes.
She's the one that killed Miles Rehnquist.
Are you sure about that?
Sure, all right. She killed Brett's friend to get the fire compass.
What?
Rena, Professor Rehnquist was killed in our apartment.
Oh, no.
For a long time, I thought it was just my imagination that I saw his body lying on the floor. But then when Gretchen kidnapped Ruby...
Gretchen kidnapped Ruby? Why?
She thought she had a piece of the fire compass. And that's when she told Ruby that she killed Brett's friend in our apartment.
Honey, if she killed Miles, why didn't she kill Ruby?
I rescued her. Oh, Marina, it was awful. I dressed up in this nun costume and I followed Gretchen to where she was holding Ruby. Ruby was all tied up and there were rats running all over the place. I looked through the window and Gretchen was aiming a gun at Ruby. She would have killed her too, but I looked around and I saw this fire alarm and I pulled it and when the alarm sounded, Gretchen was distracted and that's how I got Ruby out of there.
Why didn't you go to the police?
I did. And I tried to tell Brett about her friend, but she'd already gone.
Honey, do you have any idea where Haitopah is?
No. But the guide knows.
What guide?
Well, I don't know him, but his name is Joel Walker. His company is Joel's Guide Service or Walker Tours. Now, that's how Mark and Ruby found the place.
Thank you, honey. Do you have any idea how much you've helped us? We finally have something to go on. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to find Joe.
I'm so scared, Rena. I never meant for anybody to get hurt.
Honey, I know that. I know that.
What about all of them at Haitopah? I mean, they could be in danger. They could be dead.
Don't you think that? We're gonna find them. I promise you that. Just be sure to tell me if you find out anything else, okay? I gotta get going now. I don't want to lose any time, huh? You understand?
They have got to be all right. They've just got to be.
Some place called High Toe Pa.
Well, where's that?
I have no idea. I've been looking for it forever. They don't have it indexed in the map room. I got a couple of guys looking through there, but it's going to take forever to see all those maps.
Well, how do you expect Jenny to help you out?
Well, I don't know. I was hoping that Rehnquist might have said something to her or given her some indication as to what kind of danger they might be in.
Well, I'm not sure how much Jenny knows. Probably not very much. Rehnquist was a secretive sort of person.
Ryan, I know this is a long shot, but it's all we got. Now, do you think it's all right for me to talk to Jenny?
Sure, she'll try to help you any way she can.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. I'm expecting Jenny at my office. Let me call my secretary.
Oh, good.
She's there yet. Peggy, listen, this is Ryan. Is Jenny there yet? Great. Could you send her on up to Grant's office? Thank you very much. Yeah, she's on her way over. Grant, listen, if you could just give me a few minutes alone with Jenny, the news of Rehnquist's death is going to hit her pretty hard.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I wanted to talk to you in the first place.
She and Rehnquist became very close while I was down in Venezuela, and she's been worrying about him ever since he left the ranch.
Ryan, I'm sorry to put her through this.
Yeah, so am I. She'll be all right. I just hope she can help you. I had no idea you were going through all of this.
Oh, well, I've been trying to put it in perspective, but I admit it's awful hard.
Hi.
Oh, Jenny.
Ryan's secretary told me to come down here. I hope I'm not interrupting.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I have something to attend to, so if you'll excuse me for a minute.
Hey, what's going on? You look so sad.
Honey, I have some bad news for you.
What?
It's about Miles.
He's dead, isn't he?
He was murdered. They just pulled his body out of Galveston Bay. Honey.
That was a waste of time.
Learning is never a waste of time. Although, you know, I'm just surprised that I couldn't find what we were looking for. I know a lot about Indian lore.
Well, we never found that High Tapa place.
You ready to give up so quickly?
What else can we do?
There are other libraries.
Oh, John, I don't know that I could stand another day in a library with you.
Why not?
You make comments out loud when you read.
I do?
Yes, and the librarian was trying to shush you, but you didn't pay any attention.
I didn't even hear her. I hope I didn't disrupt anybody.
You didn't.
Oh.
But the librarian's shushing you did.
Well, there's other places we can check out.
Like where?
Like the anthropology department at the university. Or the Indian Museum. It's just that, well, you know, this High Tapa place is strange territory for me, even with what I know about Indians.
Let's forget it, John.
Oh, wait, why?
John, Mr. Wheeler's already got a lot of people working on this. I'm sure they know where to look.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, what are you so depressed about?
Well, just that I was hoping that I could help you out for a change.
Help me out? What are you talking about?
Ever since I met you, you've been helping me out. You got me this job. You helped me with my driving lessons. You've done a lot of things for me.
I didn't mind.
Yeah, but you never let me help you, and I was hoping that this time I could. I thought if I could find this High Tapa for you, that you'd feel better about this whole thing.
That's very sweet of you, John.
That's okay. Hey, I got an idea.
What?
Since I couldn't find High Tapa for you, how about letting me cook you up something special?
What?
I'd make a mean batch of spaghetti.
Where?
Where? In the kitchen.
My kitchen?
That's the only one I know.
You don't go near my kitchen.
Why?
I can't let you loose in my kitchen with a tub of tomato sauce.
Why not?
Because I've been cleaning spaghetti off of my ceiling for 2 weeks.
Vivian.
No, John, that's final. No spaghetti sauce.
You're not feeling so depressed right now, are you?
What?
I got your mind off your problem, didn't I?
Yeah, you really did.
Well, I'm glad of you.
You okay, honey? How'd you know that Miles was dead?
I didn't. Not really.
Well, you didn't seem surprised.
I knew he was in danger. And I could tell by the way you were looking at me. Ryan, he had a lot of information that people were willing to kill for. I just wish there's somebody who could have helped him.
Honey, you can help Grant.
How?
Just tell him everything you know about Miles and High Toe Pa. Can you do that?
Well, I don't know that much. I told Rena and Mark everything I do know.
Well, but you may be able to tell Grant something that'll give him a clue. Just try and remember everything that Miles said, all right?
I'll try.
Thanks. You gonna be able to handle this right now?
I'm fine.
I'll get Grant, okay?
Jenny, I'm terribly sorry about Miles Rehnquist. I know he was a friend.
The important thing is that Ricky, Brett, and Mark get home safely.
I agree. I'm awfully worried about how much danger they're in. Jenny, my question is this. Do you know where High Toe Pa is?
That, I don't know. Miles wouldn't tell me.
Can you tell me what you do know?
Yes. I just wish I would have opened up about this a long time ago. Maybe Miles would be alive and Brett, Ricky, and Mark wouldn't be in so much danger.
Brett! Brett! Brett!
Brett! I'm scared, Mark.
I know you are. Just try to stay calm and hang in.
I'm trying.
Good girl. Keep trying.
Where is she? Brett!
We gotta check all these walls. Past this mark.
What if we can't find her?
Watch out. Don't say it. We don't find her. We got to.
We gotta find her.
Yeah, we just gotta keep looking here.
I think I'm on to something this time.
What?
Well, I had a long talk with Marlene Harper.
What does she know?
Practically everything. She told me about a guide named Joel, who happens to be a friend of Ricky's, and about their next-door neighbor, Gretchen Randolph.
And what does the neighbor got to do with it?
Well, Arlene swears up and down that Gretchen kidnapped Ruby and murdered Miles Rehnquist.
Can you trust her judgment?
I don't think we have any choice. She said that Gretchen hired a guide named Joel to take her to a place called Haitopa.
Really?
Yep.
Well, if one guide knows where it is, then maybe there's another one.
It's just what I'm checking out now.
Why didn't Lurleen say this in the first place? Would have saved an awful lot of trouble.
She's afraid. She still is. You can't blame her for that.
Who are these people? Who's behind all this? What does it mean? I'll go see Barker, see if he has anything.
Okay. Oh, Grant, did you get any information from Ginny?
No. She was pretty shaken by the news of Miles Rehnquist's death. She wanted to be helpful, but she doesn't know any more than we do right now.
Dead? In Galveston Bay?
That's right.
Oh, poor Professor Rehnquist. Then he was in danger.
Yeah, evidently he was.
Well, have they any idea who could have done such a thing?
Well, Grant's got security people working on it. They're hoping to find a clue, any clue, that'll lead them to Brett and Mark and Ricky and Ruby.
Do you think there's a connection?
Well, there's got to be. Rehnquist was the key. But now with him dead, who knows what's going to happen to the others?
Oh, dear Lord.
I tell you, Kate, what upsets me is that I was kept in the dark about this whole thing from the very beginning. Ginny didn't even tell me.
Ryan, I know how you feel.
Oh, you do, huh?
But at the time, Miles insisted that no one else know. He felt it would have endangered more lives.
Oh, well, great. Thank you very much for telling me now. Because somewhere out there are 4 people whose lives are very much in danger right now.
I know. Sorry.
If you hadn't kept this from me, this might not have happened.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Ashley.
You here to see Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not here.
Oh.
Did you want to see him about anything special?
No, not really. I was just in the building delivering papers for Rena and thought I'd just drop in and say hi.
Well, looks like you're just going to have to make do with seeing me. How are you?
Oh, everything's great. My job, everything. Things couldn't be better.
I'm glad to hear that.
Really?
Yeah. I am.
Didn't mean it that way.
I only want what's best for you, Allison.
I believe that.
It's the truth. Is that a new dress?
Yeah.
Well, it looks real nice on you.
Thank you. Got this and another one at page 1.
2 from page 1?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty expensive. Hey, I wish you would tell me before you put things like that on my account.
I didn't put this on your account, Ashley. Paid for it with my own money.
With your own money?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, I know your salary at World Oil can't be that much. Well, what happened? Did Rena give you a bonus for your good work or something?
No. It's not where I got the money.
Well, come on, you mind telling me where you got it?
No.
Well, you know I'm going to find out anyway.
All right, Ashley, if you must know. I got the money from Mr. Hannibal.
Yes, Karen? Yeah. Yes, send him right in.
Hi, son.
Dad?
I'm not disturbing you or anything?
No, I'm just tying up some loose ends.
Yeah. I remember tying up loose ends myself 30 years ago.
Well, I guess nothing much ever changes in the oil business, does it?
Nah, nothing much in life changes that much. Everything sort of remains the same. Only the players are different.
Ricky, can I get you a cup of coffee?
No, I'm fine.
Well, why don't you have a seat and tell me what's on your mind?
You always could tell when I had something to say.
Family instinct.
Okay. I wanted to tell you about a visitor I had last week. Justin Marshall. He wanted me to come here and work for him. That man's got one hell of a lot of nerve.
Yeah, that he does. That's partly the reason for his success.
I'd like to be frank with you, son.
Sure.
I don't like Justin Marshall. I don't like him, and I don't trust him.
Why do you say that, Dad?
It's just my gut feeling. I've been judging men that way all my life, TJ, and I've been right most of the time.
You sure you're not letting some other feelings color your opinion of Justin?
I'm a good judge of men. I'm not wrong often. Justin Marshall is bad news.
I think you're wrong, Dad.
I don't think so. Anyway, that's what I wanted to ask you. You weren't behind him coming to me to go to work for Marshall Oil, were you?
No. Absolutely not.
I didn't think you were, but I wanted to hear it from you.
No, I didn't think that you'd be interested in getting back into the oil business.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that if I was you.
You mean you are interested in getting back in?
It's a possibility.
But not with Marshall Oil.
No, I couldn't do that.
You're not considering going with World Oil, are you?
No. I was entertaining even a better idea.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
I fancy myself as advisor to Canfield Oil.
Canfield Oil?
Your company.
Honey, may I come in?
Of course, Mom.
Have you heard anything about Ricky and the others yet?
No, we haven't.
Nothing at all?
Well, we've got a few leads right now on trying to track down a guide or somebody at his office because they might know where Haitopa is. But I can't get through. Look, Mama, I think I'm going to go to that guide's office myself. I just can't sit around here waiting for them to answer their telephone. I'm sorry to rush off.
Oh, no, it's all right. You go right ahead. I understand you get that information.
Mama, have you heard from Daddy?
No, I haven't. But, Rena, the important thing is for you to help Grant now.
I know, but I'm concerned about you.
I know you are, honey, but I think all of your concern should be for Grant. How is he taking all of this?
He's holding up well. He's a strong man. Inside, it must be just tearing him apart. Look, he's going to be here any minute. Will you please tell him where I've gone? And I'll be back as soon as I can.
Good luck, honey.
Easy, I'm coming to you.
Oh, Ricky! Ricky, watch out!
Brett, can you hear me? Brett, it's me, Ricky! Brett, come on, listen, just snap out of it, listen to me. Brett, you gotta stay where you are, now don't move! Just stay there, we're gonna get over to you.
Mark, what's wrong with her?
I don't know, maybe it's got something to do with that statue.
I think it's this crazy cave. Hey, how'd she get all the way over there without getting bit by them snakes?
She's all wet. She must have crossed this water. So whatever she did, we gotta get her back over here.
Do you know what you're doing?
I think so. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna use this rope. I'm gonna go over there and secure one end, and then I want you over on the other side, and I'll toss it over to you. Good idea. Watch out here. Whoa. Come on, Rick, quick. All right, here, catch. Give me some slack. Okay, I'll pull it over there tight, Mark. That's it. Pull it tight. Got it? Yeah. Ready? Brett, you stay there. Stay there.
Canfield oil?
Yep. Name rolls right off the tongue.
You're serious?
Of course I am. Why, you and me, we'd take this town by storm.
No, Dad, I just don't see it.
That's because you're not looking at it the way I am.
No, I guess I'm not.
It's a natural, son. Why, with those brains of yours and my old-time savvy, we'd go right to the top. I've got the contacts, son, the connections. I know the people that'll help us, that can help you. And I've got the money to invest. Lord knows I've got the time. Your mother's been using up most of that lately. Quite frankly, I'm getting a little bored of just attending operas and symphony. Even ball games. Nothing holds my attention the way oil did.
Yeah, that's powerful, all right.
So what do you say?
I say you seem awfully anxious to get me away from Marshall Oil.
I told you how I felt about Justin Marshall.
Yeah, you did.
And you know how I feel about Ashley.
Dad?
Okay, son, I'm not going to start anything. But I can imagine with this whole situation must be very, very disturbing to you.
No, it's not, Dad. Look, I'm happy here. I enjoy my work and I do a good job.
That's just the point, DJ. You're doing good work, but you're working for somebody else. I want to change that. I want you to be working for yourself.
Yeah, look, I hear what you're saying, Dad, and I want that someday, too. But you think right now is the right time?
It's always the right time for a good idea.
Dad, look at the economy. I mean, it's bad enough for established businesses, let alone new ones. And we want to start a new oil company in the midst of one of the biggest worldwide oil gluts in the past decade? Dad, I think we'd be real smart to sit this one out.
I've seen worse times and I got started in them.
I know, but I'm not you.
But you could be.
No, Dad. No. I tried.
At least give this a thought, will you?
I will.
That's all I ask. Well, I best get back and see what Mildred's got for me to do now.
Dad?
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't take Justin up on his offer.
I thought you would be.
I'm happy here.
I hope so.
Hannibal. You took money from Hannibal?
That's right.
I don't believe this.
Well, if you don't believe me, Ashley, you can ask Mr. Hannibal.
How could you do that, Allison?
How could I do what?
Take money from that man.
What are you getting at, Ashley? I mean, Mr. Hannibal was a good friend of Aunt Hildy's. He only wanted to help me out.
Help you out.
He seems like a very nice man. Don't you like him?
Allison?
What's wrong, Ashley?
Nothing.
Oh, something is. Could it be Mr. Hannibal?
No.
Gee, I seem to remember you meeting him with Aunt Hildy.
Look, Allison, we're getting off the track here. This has nothing to do with Hannibal himself.
Oh, I think you're wrong, Ashley. I think this has everything to do with Hannibal.
What?
You're afraid of him. For some reason, he scares you.
That's ridiculous.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think so, Ashley. I think that there's something going on between you two. It's only a matter of time before I find out exactly what it is.
Leave it alone, Allison.
And you make sure you leave me alone.
I'll come down to the news department as soon as I get in.
Rena, the security... Vicky.
Oh, hello, Grant. Rena went down to the guide's office to try to get some information. She couldn't get through to them on the telephone.
Well, that may be the only way she's going to get the information.
You've heard nothing.
Nothing good.
Grant, I am so sorry.
I intend to find them, Vicky.
Grant, have you thought about letting me air some bulletins on KVIK? If someone is
I don't
seeing
think
them,
at this time, Vicky. I think it might do more harm than good.
Probably right. Please, Grant, if there's anything at all I can do, let me know.
You've already done it.
What's that?
You reared a terrific daughter. Without her, I don't think I could do anything.
I know deep in my heart that all of this is going to work out the right way.
I believe it is.
Believe it.
It's all my fault. I know that.
Not yours alone, Ginny. Ryan should be upset with me as well.
You didn't lie to Ryan.
Well, I held back what I knew about Miles. I'm as much to blame as anybody.
No, Kate.
We all tried to do what we thought was best. Tried to keep it quiet. It cost that poor man his life.
I'm having a hard time accepting the fact that he's really dead. He was such a good man. He was only trying to do what he thought was right.
Well, they'll find who was responsible for his death.
When? After more people have died? After something happens to Ricky and Brett, Mark and Ruby?
Ginny!
What have I done, Kate? If anything happens to them, any one of them, I will never forgive myself.
Now, don't talk like that.
How should I talk? That's how I feel. I'm the one responsible.
We are all responsible, Ginny. I'm as responsible as you are. And Lurleen.
Lurleen?
Well, she lied. She thought she ought to protect Ruby. We all share the blame for what's happened.
Only I could have known.
If only we all could have known.
Kate.
Right now, I think we should pray that nothing happens to Ricky, Brett, Mark, and Ruby, wherever they are.
Okay, that ought to hold.
What if it doesn't?
It will.
What if it doesn't?
That's a chance I gotta take. Ruby, go over there and grab that end. Mark, secure this end. Brett, you just stay where you are. Come back on. I'm trying to.
Ricky, hang on. Hang on.
Ricky, what are you doing?
Trying to get to you, Brett. Just hang tight.
What happened?
You tell me.
Shake loose.
Brett, don't move. Brett! Here, grab hold of me. Grab hold of me, Brett. Come on. Come on. Just hang on. You gotta get you to the other side. Put your arm around me. Grab hold of me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Just come to me. I got you. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me. That's it. Stay here. Get close. Come on. Come on. I got you. I got you. Help me out, Mark. I got you, man.
Oh, Allison, you've got to stay away from Hannibal. And I'm the one who's got to make sure that you do.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Would you call him back? Tell him I'll take care of that first thing tomorrow morning. Right. Thank you. Hi, darling.
Hi.
Anything major come up while I was gone?
Well, nothing that I couldn't handle.
That is what I like to hear. Excuse me, darling.
How did your morning go?
Well, just another A1 meeting with Hawker and Boots.
Oh, more oil leases?
No, we just talked about politics.
Oh, yeah, that campaign they're putting together for Ricky Decker.
None other?
You still going to be honorary chairman of it?
Now, darling, we already talked about this.
I know we talked about it, but I still don't like it.
What's not to like? Actually, it's going to get us into the political arena. It's going to make Marshall a household word all over this state.
Justin, sweetheart, you don't even know the first thing about politics.
I know. And that's another reason I'm going to do it. It's time for me to learn. The oil business actually is built on politics, and politics is the only way we're ever going to make it to number one.
It's a dirty game, Justin.
But it's a game we've got to play. Don't you think that Grant Wheeler, Rena Decker are playing politics over at World Oil right now? It's the only way that Marshall Oil is going to be able to survive against competition like that. It's about time we got into this game. I need you behind me on this, Ashley.
Justin, I'm behind you on everything that you do. And I understand what you're trying to say. But have you really thought this thing all the way through?
Why don't you tell me what's bothering you?
Ricky Decker is Rena's brother-in-law.
So?
You don't see the irony in that?
I kind of like the irony. I think it's got kind of an interesting touch to it.
Oh, yeah. Interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, how does Ricky feel about this?
Well, I don't even think he knows about it.
Justin, now don't you think that you ought to wait and get Ricky's reaction before you go head over heels over this project?
Well, Ricky hasn't been in town for a while, but I'm sure it'll be fine with him. Whatever I may think of Rena, there's nothing bad between Ricky and me, and after all, I did save his life once.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go on back to work.
What else is bothering you? There's something.
Nothing's bothering me.
Yes, there is, Ashley, and I want to know what.
I love you very much. Very much. And I've got to go to work.
It's me, sir. Adams.
Yes, Adams. What's your news?
Well, there's nothing to report. We haven't heard a thing from Gretchen since that last message.
I need to be told about where that woman is all the time.
Well, yes, I'm sorry, sir, but, well, Gretchen must have been right about not being able to make or receive any transmissions while inside the cave.
Or perhaps she can't receive your transmissions for some other reason.
You could be right, sir.
Think we should head up into the canyon then?
How can you? Without her directions, you'd only get lost.
Well, yes, sir, I know, but then how can we get it...
Your head, man. Keep trying to contact her. Don't call me back until you do.
Yes, sir.
The old man say?
He wants us to stay put. And then we're to try and raise her on the radio.
Hey, you two guys have been hanging around my place a lot. What's going on?
What do you mean, what's going on?
Up in the canyon. You with those others?
Others?
Yeah, a lot of people went up there, but no one come out.
Because we're all together. We're all on the same project.
Project?
Yeah, those all the people who are...
Naturalists. We're naturalists.
Yeah, we're just hanging around, standing around here, just in case anything goes wrong up there.
What could go wrong?
Whatever you like, Jose, could go wrong.
Naturalists. Don't they go around with no clothes on?
No, you got that wrong. And naturalists study plants.
Plants? You guys don't look like you're here to study plants.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Whatever you say. Hey, Pepe. Why don't you bring us a couple more cerveza, huh?
A little more bread, Pepe.
Hey, what was so important you had to talk to me about?
I just had a visitor.
Well, they seem to be coming out of the woodwork today.
You're supposed to ask me who my visitor was.
I don't feel like playing games.
It was my father.
Oh, really? Think I'm around bad-mouthing me again?
Well, he did manage to get in a jab.
It figures. It's Hate Ashley Day.
No, actually, Dad was almost civil this time.
Oh, how kind of him.
And we are off the hook.
What?
About my father coming to work for Marshall Oil. He said that he wouldn't work for Justin Marshall if Marshall Oil were the last oil company on the face of the earth.
Oh, then there really isn't a chance, then, that he's going to come to work for Justin. Well, at least I have one less problem to worry about.
Yeah, but you haven't heard the best part.
What?
He wants to set me up with my own oil company.
He what?
Yeah. Canfield Oil. Kinda rolls right off the tip of your tongue, doesn't it?
What did you tell him?
I told him I'd think about it.
Yeah, TJ, it's real good to know what people are thinking, you know?
Ashley? There's something on your mind?
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
You want to talk about it?
No. But I'll tell you one thing, TJ. I don't think that I can take one more thing being dumped on me today.
Well, there was something else that I wanted to talk to you about, but,
Well, who is it concerning?
Paige? After the party that Justin threw the other night at the Top of the World Club, Paige started pressing me for more information.
About what?
Us?
You already told her we were engaged.
Yeah, but she still thinks that I'm keeping a secret from her.
What did you tell her?
What could I tell her?
A lot. You already told her we were engaged.
Ashley, the engagement was one thing. The abortion is another matter.
You don't have to remind me.
Look, I'm starting to feel more and more like a heel about this all the time.
Why? Because you're keeping our secret?
Because I'm keeping a secret from Paige.
But if you tell her, it won't stay with Paige, TJ.
Well, what if it gets out some other way?
It just
from someone else.
Can't do that this time. Look, I cannot deal with any more problems. Do you understand? I can't even. I've got Allison. I can't deal with this.
What's the problem with Allison?
A lot, okay? Just a lot.
Can I help you with it?
No. Not this time. I'm gonna have to take care of it myself. And head on.
You're sure?
I am.
I'm glad you could make it, darling.
Oh, well, thanks, brother. What's up?
Well, I thought we could just sit down and have a little talk, huh?
Well, I'm very flattered.
I do have to look out after my sister.
Oh, you do? How so?
Well, your friendship with TJ.
Oh, what about my friendship with TJ?
I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I sensed a little friction between you two at my party the other night.
You're right.
I know it.
It is your imagination.
You being honest with me.
Oh, Justin. You know I wouldn't be anything but. Listen, I know you're concerned. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm
But
concerned.
I happen to love TJ.
You sure?
Justin, will you
Paige,
stop this?
Paige,
You've been
please.
doing this
Hear me.
to
Would you hear me out, please? As good as TJ has done for me, for Marshall Oil, I still can't bring myself to trust that guy.
Well, that's your problem.
No, it's TJ's problem. He hasn't made it any easier for me to trust him. I just don't want you to have any problems, Paige.
John, I don't. Not if you don't make any.
All right, you have my word.
Thanks. Now, what's this I hear about you and your problems?
My problem?
Yeah, Allison moving out.
Oh, that?
Oh, yeah, that.
Well, it just created a little friction here and there, that's all.
Just a little?
That's all. But Gregory down in the dumps, he misses her very much.
Yeah, how about you? You miss her very much, too?
I miss her a lot, yes.
And Ashley, I bet she misses her, too, doesn't she?
We all miss her, Paige. What has this got to do with you?
Nothing. Not a thing. Just like my relationship with TJ doesn't have anything to do with you.
Oh.
Now, is there anything else on your mind, Brother dear, that you want to discuss
well,
with me?
I can't think of a thing.
I'm so glad we had this little chat.
thank you.
For inviting me.
Yeah.
I think I better get back to the boutique.
Bye,
now.
dear.
Oh, Jess, by the way, did you give Allison any money before she left?
No, I didn't want.
Just curious.
Why?
Well, when she's bought dresses at the boutique, she usually put them on Ashley's account.
Yeah, so?
Well, she bought 2 dresses the other day and paid for them in cash.
She bought 2 of your dresses and paid cash for them?
Yeah.
That's a lot of cash to be carrying around.
That's what I thought. You don't know how she got them?
I don't have any idea. I'm sure going to ask Ashley about this. Yes.
I want to talk to you.
Ashley, my dear. So nice to hear from you.
Drop it, Hannibal.
You sound upset.
When can I see you?
Oh, I'm a busy man, Ashley. I have a full calendar.
Listen, you better just make room on that calendar for me.
What is it this time, Ashley?
I have no intention of putting up with your interference anymore.
I don't think I like the tone of your voice.
Well, that's only the first of the things that you're not going to like, Hannibal. Now, when can I see you?
This evening. My room at the Spindletop.
I'll be there.
I'll be looking forward to it. Ashley?
I'm not putting up with anything. I don't care what you know.
I've got work to do in the kitchen.
Ryan, are you still upset?
You lied to me. Because of that, people's lives are in danger. Tell me, what could you possibly have been thinking about to keep this whole thing from me, huh?
Miles felt that if he told anyone, more people could have been hurt. He was only trying to do what he thought was right. He was trying to protect other people. He died because of that.
I'm aware of that.
Don't blame us, Ryan. Kate and Lillian and I were only doing what we thought was right.
That's hard on you. I'm sorry.
Hold me. Please, hold me.
No, don't get up. You need your rest.
Vicky told me that you went to the guide's office.
Yes,
What do you say?
the office was sealed by the police.
Sealed?
The office was broken into.
Broken into?
Sorry, Grant. I really thought this was the break that we needed.
Who the hell are these people?
I wish I knew.
We're right back to square one.
No, I think we're further along in that. We know about the guide, and we know about Gretchen. The things are beginning to fit together now.
Bits and pieces, Rena. Pieces and bits. And we're running out of time.
We're gonna find them. It's not too late. We're going to find them.
We gotta get the venom out. We're gonna need some kind of a tourniquet.
Mark, give me your knife.
We get some plain color. She's going into shock. We gotta cover her up, elevate her feet. Gotta get my knife. Hold on.
Tourniquet.
Brett, put it right above the wound, pull it tight. Talk to him! Okay. Talk! All right, here we go. Come on!
Oh,
She's going out! She's going out! Please, let it be all right. Please, it's gotta be all right!
Climb out of here and
Come on, Ricky, you done? Can we move her? Let's go! Not yet. The venom's starting to work. I can see it. Hurry up. She's starting to go under. I think I got it all. I think I got it. Brett, you're gonna be okay. You're all right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Brett, you're gonna make it. Don't worry, you're gonna make it. She's gotta make it. Brett, hurry, you're gonna be okay.
Ricky, the snake!
Come on, let's get her out of here. Yeah. Get the blade. Yeah.
Have you heard anything about Mark and Brett?
Not yet. And on top of it, I got a call from my attorney, Gordon Haskins. He wants to meet with me tonight.
The divorce.
Yeah. There's some things I have to deal with right away.
Don't worry about it. We'll get it. But you gotta rest.
So important.
So are you, Brett. You hear me? Try to get some sun.
I don't know.
There must be something else we can do for her.
There's nothing we can do except wait. The next few hours are going to be critical. I just hope I got all that poison out of her.
She's gonna be all right. I just know she is. Ricky, you should eat something.
No, thanks.
Why don't you try to get some rest then?
Yeah.
God, please let her be all right.
Hannibal,
Ashley, join me.
we've got to talk.
You sounded so upset over the phone, I was worried.
Don't give me that, Hannibal.
Is there something I can do for you?
There certainly is. Stay away from Allison.
Got it?
I got it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Well, hi there, you two. Well, honey, this is your big day.
Oh, Paige, I'm so nervous.
Oh, there's nothing to be nervous about. You're going to have a wonderful time.
See, isn't that what I told you, huh?
Yeah, I know, but it's just thinking about New York and Chicago. I never dreamed I was going to be going to places like that.
Oh, I think this is just the beginning, honey. I can see you flying to Rome, Paris.
Oh, Paige, I wish you hadn't said that. That just scares me half to death.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to travel that far away from home.
Oh, well, I don't think that's anything we have to worry about just the second.
Well, I wonder when Roger's going to get here, huh?
Oh, he just called. The limo's on its way.
He's picking me up in a limousine?
Yeah.
What do I know about limousines?
Well, I don't think you need to know a lot about limousines. All you do is sit back and relax.
But, Paige, I'm not used to stuff like that.
Well, you better get used to it, honey, because that's the way Roger operates. Billy Joe, will you come talk to your wife, please, and then tell her everything's going to be all right? I've got some calls to make.
Honey, what is it? What's wrong?
Do you think I'm doing the right thing?
What do you mean?
Traveling all over the country, first-class plane seats and limousines.
You're entitled to the best, Nita.
You're such a sweetheart.
I'm going to miss you.
You just say the word.
What?
If you really don't want me to go, you just tell me, and I will cancel the trip.
No, Barker, that's not what I wanted to hear. No, but thank you for your thoroughness anyway. All right, but keep in touch. Bye.
Grant?
Bye, Raina.
Any word on Brett and Mark?
I was just talking to the head of security.
What did he have to say?
Well, he's got some news on Miles Rehnquist.
What?
He was shot.
Shot?
He was murdered.
Hey, what is this stuff?
It's called Desert Delight.
Why is it called that?
Because it's got pineapples and dates.
That's pretty good. I'll have some more.
You better not eat too much, Ruby,
Why not?
because we got to conserve what little food we have.
Oh, Rube, you can have my share.
Oh, no, that's all right, Brett. I wouldn't eat your food.
Well, why not? It's just going to go to waste.
Brett, you got to eat your own food.
Ricky, I'm not hungry. I just want to get started, okay?
Brett, you got to keep up your strength. We're not going to go anywhere, Brett, until you eat something.
You guys are ganging up on me.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
You know, this is really something.
Eat.
What's so great about it?
Well, for one thing, it's very old. And I don't know how it got here. You know, there's a lot of stuff in this cave that even Miles doesn't know about.
Are we gonna go looking for more stuff like that?
You bet we are.
Well, I thought we were just gonna find this secret chamber place and then hightail it out of here. I don't think we should stay in here any longer than we have to.
Well, we won't, Ruby, but, you know, on our way to the secret chamber, if we come across something else like this, so much the better.
Just so long as we don't start becoming discoveries ourselves.
What are you getting at?
I just have this real creepy feeling that if we don't get out of here pretty soon, we're all gonna turn into mummies. I think we should just get what we've come for and get out as fast as we can.
Well, to me,
Yeah, but your career's important too.
no, not as important as you are. I've been doing some thinking, honey. And I've been realizing how much pressure you've been under, what with your TV show and all those Ace High commercials you have to do. And I don't want to be the one to add to that pressure.
Well, now how would you be doing that?
Well, if I leave, you're going to have to be spending a lot more time with Billy Joe Jr.
Wait a minute. Don't you think I could take care of myself and Billy Joe Jr. for a few days, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
So what's the big deal?
Big deal is that I was so lonely when we were apart. I just don't want to do anything to separate us again.
Anita, we're not going to let that happen ever again.
Yeah, but how about all these trips I'm going to be taking? Roger says I'm going to have to be doing a lot of traveling.
Well, then that's just something we're going to have to handle when the time comes. Nita, I want you to have yourself a great time on this trip, and I want you to be a real big success. Okay? Huh?
I'm going to miss you.
Well, you make it sound like you're going on a trip to the moon or something.
Oh, I
here.
feel like that sometimes. I mean, me, Nita Wright, going to New York City and Chicago. Back in Waco, I never dreamed I'd be doing things like this.
Nita, we're both on our way. But if we love each other, our love's as strong as we both know it is, we're not going to have any problems. We're just not going to let that happen, all right?
I love you.
Here is the grocery list. Chili beans, onions, bean sprouts. Ruby is going to have a fit when she comes back and finds out that I let Wayne put Chinese dishes on the menu.
Well, wait till you hear his latest idea.
Now what?
He thinks that instead of serving peanuts on the bar, we should have little bowls all over the place with fortune cookies in them.
Now he has gone too far. Ruby would have my hide if I let him get away with something like that.
Well, I'm just passing on the message.
I know you are, Elena. I didn't mean to snap at you.
You didn't.
I really appreciate your giving me a hand with this place.
Oh, come on, it's no problem. Actually, I'm enjoying it.
Really?
Well, sure. I think we make a great team.
I don't know how I could have done it without you.
Is it my imagination, or is business getting better around here?
It sure is. Money's just pouring in. But the more people that come in, the more problems.
You mean like last night?
Elena, I was really afraid we were going to have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, but you handled it perfectly. You had those two guys apologizing to one another before they knew what hit them.
Well, I was really scared there for a couple of minutes. I thought they were going to tear this place apart. Well, hi! Miss Kate, Jenny, what are you doing here?
Well, Darlene, we just came to see how you're doing. It's been so long.
I know.
It's been too long.
Oh, it's good to see you. Oh, it's good to see you, too. You know, I can't tell you how often I thought about driving out to the ranch.
Well, I wish you had. You know, we've missed you.
I missed you, too. Thank you, Kate.
What are you doing here at this time of day? I thought you sang here at night.
Well, I do. It's just that I'm helping Lurleen out here while Ruby's out of town.
Oh, well, good. You'd make a much better partner than Ruby Wright.
Kate, we agreed.
All right. I'm sorry, Lurleen.
Sorry about what?
Well, I promised Jenny I wouldn't start on Ruby Wright.
Well, we should try to get to know her a little better, Miss Kate. She's a good friend.
Well, what's she up to now?
Well, she's in Nashville.
What's she doing there?
She's arranging to have a record produced for Ricky.
Listen, I better get going.
Well, you just got here.
I know, but I told Ryan I'd meet him at World Oil.
Well, now don't you make yourself a stranger around here.
I'll see you back at the ranch. So long, Elaine.
Bye-bye. How's Ricky doing?
I don't know. You know, I haven't heard from him in a couple of days.
Well, maybe he went to Nashville with Ruby.
He would have mentioned it to me.
Well, it's odd you haven't been able to reach him.
Grant, listen to me. There's nothing more you can do right now.
That has to be, Rena. I was worried before. I had no idea how much danger they were in until I found out that Miles Rehnquist was murdered.
But Miles was working on his own. He didn't have anybody behind him looking after him. Brett does. Mark and Ricky are with her.
Rena, whoever is behind this, and whatever they're after, it's obvious that they're willing to kill to find it.
I have to believe they know the risks. I'm sure they took every precaution they could.
It's not good enough. I've got to find High Topaz.
Have you talked to Ginny?
No.
She knows Miles Rehnquist better than anybody.
Except Brett.
Don't dwell on that. Talk to Ginny.
All right, I will.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you better talk to Ryan first. Let him know what's happened. Professor Rehnquist's death is going to hit Ginny pretty hard.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Sarah, would you ask Mr. Connor to come to my office as soon as possible? Yes, thank you.
You didn't get much sleep last night, did you?
No. If Brett and Mark...
I'm not going to let you get away with that.
With what?
Blaming yourself for something that isn't your fault. Brett is a very strong-willed woman. You couldn't have stopped her if you wanted to. Listen, I think Lurleen is holding back some information. If I tell her that Miles Rehnquist was murdered, she might open up to me a little more than she has.
Rena, thank you for involving yourself in this.
I love you.
You're a very special person.
So are you.
How should I feel? Mr. Wheeler is very upset about Miss Brett and Mr. Mark, and it's all my fault.
Well, I don't follow your logic.
I'm in charge of taking care of this house, right?
Yes.
That involves taking care of the Wheeler family. It's my job to make sure that they're properly fed.
You're a very good cook.
To make sure they're clothed, they're clean and mended.
My shirts have never looked better. What does this have to do with Brett and Mark's disappearance?
The mail, John. It's my job to make sure that every member of this family gets its mail. And that letter from Professor Rehnquist was lost in this drawer. And maybe if Miss Brett had gotten that letter when it was delivered, she'd still be here.
You can't think like that, Vivian. Negative thought processes often result in self-destructive behavior patterns.
What?
I mean, there's no point in crying over spilled milk, Vivian. Look, we got to try to do something about it.
What?
All right, now, Mr. Wheeler's primary concern seems to be locating this High Topaz place, right?
How can I do that?
We, Vivian, we could try to help Mr. Wheeler find it.
Do you have any ideas?
We could start at the library. Yeah, I'm pretty handy around the library, if I do say so myself.
Do you really think that we could find it?
I think it's worth a try. You game?
Well, I don't know, John. I wouldn't know how to start looking for something like that.
I thought you said you wanted to help Mr. Wheeler.
I do!
Okay, well then, let's go. Now, come on. Let's get your coat.
Get my keys.
And your keys. Where are they?
I am really worried about Ricky. I mean, it's not like him not to show up at work at KVIK or the Top of the World Club.
Well, my guess is that Ruby talked him into going to Nashville with her.
I just hope we hear from him soon. Me too.
Lurleen, honey, when are you going to come out to the ranch and see us? Now, we missed you.
Oh, I miss you too, Miss Kate. It's just that I've been real busy these days running the place.
Well, how you ever got involved in this place is beyond me.
Kate, it's a real nice place, and the people here are real friendly.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, we should stop worrying about me, Miss Kate. I'm just fine. Well, I'm glad Lurleen's here. Thanks to her, I'm working again.
All right. I'll just let it go. I'll keep my worries to myself.
Well, you should. Lurleen's doing just fine.
Do you two have any idea how proud I am of you? You know, you've grown up to be such fine, independent young women.
Well, we learned that from you, Kate. You know, you're the strongest, most self-sufficient woman I've ever met.
I miss you too. Sometimes it gets real lonely out the ranch. We used to have such good times out there, didn't we?
We sure did. You know what I remember most about all those years out at the ranch?
What, honey?
You always made me feel so special when I was a little girl.
You were special.
No, I wasn't. I was just an ordinary little kid. But that's not the way you made me feel. I know what she means. You know, you always made me feel like I was part of the Marshall family.
I know how difficult it was for you two, growing up without your parents.
You know, I still think about my mom a lot. I used to pretend that she was just going to show up at the ranch and everything would be wonderful again. I used to have dreams like that, too. I even had a whole pretend family. You know what?
What, honey?
My pretend family was just like your family, Miss Kate.
Marlene, you and Elena are as much my family as my own kin. And I want you to remember that. Well, now, just because you're grown up doesn't mean you don't need family and that you're not going to have problems. Look, I want you to feel you can talk to me about anything.
You know, I remember all those times we used to sit out on the porch and talk. Remember, Elena, Miss Kate always used to bring us iced tea. And iced tea, and iced tea. How can I forget that?
Well, there's always a pitcher of iced tea in the icebox. Look, if you find yourself in a tight spot, come on out to the ranch. I'll bring out the tea, and we'll sit around and solve all our problems together as a family.
Do you think Gretchen's still out there?
You can count on that. Bet she even has reinforcements by now.
What does she want?
Ruby, she's after the same thing we're after, and that's why it's important not to waste any time.
Someday I'm going to get even with her for all the terrible things that she's done.
Well, right now, I think it's better to be more concerned that she doesn't get us first. Okay, everybody ready? Yep.
Which way are we going? That way.
Listen, whichever way we go, the important thing is that we stick together. You ladies got that?
Ricky, don't worry. Ruby and I are not going to go wandering off.
Yeah, after what we went through in that hole, we're going to stick to you guys like wallpaper. Isn't that right, Brett?
Well, looks like we're going this way.
Now come, Brad! Where?
Wait up, Brett.
Yes, I have that. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, I have that.
Is my star ready?
Hi, Roger. Hi, Roger. I guess I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Billy Joe, I'm going to be taking real good care of your wife for you. I don't want you worrying about a thing.
Yeah, well, I'm counting on you.
I'm going to put this little lady's name on the map.
Well, there's something that I want you to promise me, Roger.
What?
That you don't run her so ragged that when she gets back here, she can't function, because I need her.
Don't worry about a thing. Nita's going to get the red carpet treatment all the way. She's not going to have to lift a finger.
She deserves the best.
She'll get it. Well, we better be going.
Okay, I guess this is it, huh?
Oh, honey, have a wonderful
Bye, Paige.
Bye-bye. We're thinking
Don't
about
bother
you.
with those, Billy Joe. I'll take care of that.
All right?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a couple of days.
Okay. All right.
Well, I guess I'm going to be seeing you in a few days, huh?
Okay. Oh, Billy Joe.
What?
Make sure that Billy Joe Jr. gets to Dr. Wendell's office tomorrow morning.
Okay, don't worry about that, honey. I got
Okay.
that all marked down.
And tell him good night for me and tell him how much I love him.
Hi, Rhea.
Hi. How are you?
Okay, come on in.
Have you heard anything about Mark and Brett?
Not yet. And on top of it, I got a call from my attorney, Gordon Haskins. He wants to meet with me tonight.
The divorce.
Yeah. There are some things I have to deal with right away.
Get the statue.
statue, Brett. Don't worry about it. We'll get it. But you gotta rest.
So important.
So are you, Brett. You hear me? Try to get some sun. I don't know. There must be something else we can do for her. There's nothing we can do except wait. The next few hours are going to be critical. I just hope I got all that poison out.
She's gonna be all right. I just know she is. Ricky, you should eat something.
No, thanks.
Why don't you try to get some rest then?
God, please let her be all right.
Hannibal,
Ashley, join me.
we've got to talk.
You sounded so upset over the phone, I was worried.
Don't give me that, Hannibal.
Is there something I can do for you?
There certainly is. Stay away from Allison.
Rena?
Mama, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. It's a little late to be working, isn't it?
I decided to come back to my office and catch up on some paperwork. And to tell you the truth, I thought I'd work off a little excess energy.
Something wrong?
I'm worried about Grant.
Has there been any word on his children?
Not yet.
He must be terribly upset.
I just saw him. He doesn't look very good.
I'm so sorry.
Mama, we have tried every single thing we've thought of, and we keep running into brick walls.
Now, I told Grant that my station is at his disposal.
I know, and he appreciates the offer. He just doesn't think it would be a good idea to go public right now.
Well, the station has an excellent research department. They might be able to locate this place.
Thank you, Mama. I'll tell him that. Right now, he has people from World Oil working on it.
I want to help. Anything I can do. I've always felt close to Ricky, and I had such big plans for his career.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating.
How's Grant holding up?
I don't know how much more of this he can take. He loves those kids.
Honey, he's very lucky to have you. And he said so.
There's some things I can't help with.
Is there something else?
He got a call from his lawyer today.
What's wrong?
More trouble with his divorce.
That's been going on for quite some time,
I know,
hasn't it?
Mama, but now the lawyer's calling and saying that he has to talk to him right now.
Oh, no. Couldn't have happened at a worse time.
That's right. So I thought I would just stay here for a while, and then I would drop by his house and see how he's doing.
It's a good idea.
He's so concerned about those children, Mama. And now there's Judith. I mean, who knows what she's going to do?
Sweetheart, try not to worry.
I can't help it, Mama. He can only handle so much, and this is too much.
Gordon, come on in. Brad, I hope this isn't too inconvenient.
Well, it isn't the best time, but then again, you didn't give me much choice, did you?
Oh, I'm afraid not, but I didn't think we ought to wait on this one.
Would you like a drink?
Oh, no, thanks.
Well, then why don't you sit down and let's get this over with.
Good.
I presume that you've been in touch with Judith's lawyers today.
Yes, we've been talking for several days.
What's the urgency?
Well, it's not good news.
Gordon, what do they want?
I've been seeing the direction they've been heading in for several weeks, but today they were quite definite.
What is it?
Judith wants full disclosure of all of your investments and holdings in World Oil.
That's none of her business.
Well, she doesn't agree with you, and nor do her lawyers.
My holdings in World Oil have absolutely nothing to do with Judith. That all happened after the separation.
But you're not divorced. You see, that makes quite a difference.
Gordon, I had no intention of divulging any information about my stock holdings in World Oil.
Well, Judith's adamant.
I don't care. It's had nothing to do with her.
She can take legal recourse, you see, and that could end up a very messy business.
What right does she have?
Well, that's for the courts to decide. You're not divorced, you're separated.
What about the settlement we agreed on?
It's a settlement that was based on mutual agreement. Judith no longer agrees.
Oh, boy. What do I do now?
Well, I can tell you what you should have done. You should have gotten the divorce a long time ago.
Well, what about this new demand?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Grant. I'm afraid this one is going to cost you.
What is it?
I can't take this anymore, Ruby.
Red's gonna be all right. Ricky knows what he's doing.
What happens when she revives, Ruby? Gretchen is still out there waiting.
Don't talk
Who
about
knows who else is out there with her?
it. Mark, there's nothing we can do about it right now.
Oh, yes, there is.
What are you doing?
I'm going after her.
You can't do that.
What am I going to do? I got to take care of my sister. That means I'm going to go after Gretchen first.
Gretchen could kill you.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Sit around here and wait? I'm making the first move, Ruby.
What if you walk right into a trap? Mark, you don't know how she works.
I'm going after her, Ruby.
Ricky, come here.
Ricky, stay there. Everything's fine.
Ricky.
You listen to me. With Gretchen in this cave, none of us are safe.
Just talk to Ricky about it, please.
No, I want him concentrating on Brett.
All right, if you're going, then I'm going with you.
Ruby, you're staying right here.
What if something happens to you?
Nothing is going to happen to me. I'll be very careful, okay?
Mark, I really hate this. I don't think you should go.
Look, Brett's going to need medical attention. We have to deal with Gretchen sometime, okay?
Just talk to Ricky. Find out what he thinks.
You just let him stay right here with Brett. You can tell him after I leave, okay?
Mark, I feel so helpless. Can't I do something?
Yeah, you can. You can help with Brett. You can take care of her for him. Okay?
I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you. Please don't go.
Nothing's gonna happen. I'll be fine. But there is one thing you can do for me.
What?
Well, it's kind of traditional to give a man a kiss before he goes off on a mission.
Mark, don't joke with me.
I'm not joking.
What you been doing, Gregory?
Nothing.
I see. Yeah, I think I'd like to rest my head for a little while. Could you give me this pillow, please?
Oh, no, you can't. I can't.
Why? Why can't you?
Because if I gave you this pillow, you know what I was hiding there.
I know.
I'll get you another pillow.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find out why you've been so mysterious. Wouldn't have anything to do with my surprise, would it?
Yeah, and you'll spoil it if you peek.
I promise, Gregory, I'm not gonna peek. I'm just getting very impatient.
Oh, it won't take too much longer.
Good. Gregory, there's something that I've been wanting to talk to you about.
Oh, you want to go over some more plans about the Gregory one?
No. As a matter of fact, I want to go over some plans about Gregory.
You mean me?
Yes, that's right. Gregory, what do you think about this tutor business?
Well, it's okay.
I tell you, son, I think it's time we made a change.
What do you mean? What kind of change?
I think maybe you should be going to school.
I'm keeping up. I really am.
I know you're a real smart boy, Gregory, but there are other reasons for going to school, you know.
Like what?
Well, you can meet other people your age. Well, that's very important.
I meet a lot of kids my own age at the park and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's not the same thing.
But if I go to school, it will take a lot more time to get done what I already get done with my tutor. It's not efficient.
Gregory, you knew this thing with the tutor was temporary.
I knew that, but I just like it the way it is.
Why?
Because I get to see a lot of you and Ashley. And Allison, if she ever comes back.
Gregory, is there some reason you don't want to go to school?
I told you, it's not efficient.
I think you're keeping something from me.
Well, sort of.
What is it?
Well, I've been to a lot of schools, and the same thing always happens.
What?
Well, I meet a lot of kids, like you said, and then I have to move away and start all over again. It's the way it's been for me.
That's a real bad feeling, isn't it? You don't feel like that anymore, do you?
Thought I did.
No, Gregory, you are here to stay.
Hope so. But a new school and these new kids.
Now, kids aren't the only people that get scared. I get nervous every time I'm supposed to meet a new bunch of people.
No, you don't. You always know what to say.
That's because, Greg... Well, even so, I still get scared.
Really?
Really, that's why I think you should go to school. I want you to learn how to handle any situation at all, because I know you can.
All right, I guess you made another sale.
You're going to do real great, Gregory. Oh, there's another thing that we should discuss.
What's that?
Well, Ashley wanted me to ask you if you wanted to go to a public or a private school. Now, I have a list of some pretty terrific private schools. One even has you horseback riding.
Marshall.
Why?
Well, if you want me to meet a lot of different people, wouldn't it be better if I went to a public school?
Why is that?
Because the kids at the private school would be pretty much like me, wouldn't they?
I think you're right.
Besides, I've always gone to private schools. And you should see some of the goofy uniforms you have to wear.
Gregory, I think you made yourself a sale. Anyway, you won't be the new kid in town for long.
How do you know?
Because you've got a real home. It's your home now. And that's going to make everything a whole lot easier.
Can I still help with the Gregory one?
Help? I can't do it without you. Now on, Gregory, everything is going to be just fine.
Promise?
I promise you, partner.
What did you say to me?
I said I want you to stay away from Allison.
I thought you realized you'd never give me orders.
That was before you gave Allison money. I want you to stay away from her, Hannibal.
I find Allison interesting. I would like to help her.
You've never tried to help anybody in your life. I don't want her seeing you again.
I'm quite concerned about Allison and Gregory.
What do you mean?
I think it's important they have a good home life.
Don't give me that, Hannibal.
You can imagine how worried I was when I heard that Allison felt she had to leave your home.
She wanted to be out on her own. That happens with girls Allison's age.
That's why I tried to help her.
No. You tried to buy her.
I beg your pardon.
I know how you operate, Hannibal. And Allison is too upset to accept any favors from you.
In deference to Hildy's memory, I tried to help the girl.
And I'm telling you to keep away. I know what price tag comes with your help.
Watch it, Ashley.
I will do anything. Do you hear me? Anything to keep you away from my sister.
Don't you think it might help Allison to talk to people from her past life? I could tell her about Hildy.
You don't fool me, Hannibal. You don't care about Allison.
Indeed I do. I'm quite concerned that Allison get the stability she needs at this time of her life.
I'll take care of that.
From the past job you've done, that's not too reassuring.
I love my sister, Hannibal. If we have problems, we'll work them out.
I'm not so sure.
I love her enough to keep her away from slime like you.
You just made a big mistake, Ashley.
Oh, did I? Oh, no, Hannibal. I won't have Allison taking money from you. I won't even have Allison talking to you.
You have no choice.
Oh, don't I? I'll tell her about you. I'll tell her what kind of man you are. I'll tell her that you don't give presents to anyone. There's always a string attached.
You won't tell her anything at all.
Watch me.
Let me make this clear, Ashley. You'll tell Allison absolutely nothing about
I won't put up with this anymore, Hannibal.
You don't have any power over me, Ashley. You do exactly as I say.
Because of the claim on the money that you have? I'm sick of hearing about the money. I don't care about the money. All I want is peace of mind about my sister and Gregory.
Ashley, I warn you. You try to take that money out of the companies I control, I will go directly to Justin Marshall. I will tell him the truth that you and I know very well. That Gregory Linden is not your cousin. He's your son.
Then we both lose, don't we? I won't touch the money. But I'm going to tell Justin what you are.
That's your risk, Ashley.
And it's a risk that I intend to take.
Rough day?
Yes, you could say that.
Well, then I'll have to do something to cheer you up.
No, I'll be fine.
Good.
I liked what you were playing when I came in. Maybe we could use it on the show.
Speaking of the show, Billy, Joe, and Nita dropped in the other night.
Oh, how nice. Did they have a good time?
Well, they seem to. I'll tell you one thing, Billy Joe is the president of your fan club.
Oh, really? He's a very enthusiastic young man.
Yes, he is, but I had to agree with every word he said.
What was that?
Mainly that you are quite a lady.
Well, he had to say that. I'm his boss.
No, but he meant every word of it. He also said that you were very fair and always had sound advice.
Well, that's very flattering.
You get a lot of respect from the people that work for you, Vicky.
I hope so.
He also said something else that got me to thinking.
What was that?
That you seem very lonely lately.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know what made him say a thing like that. I'm fine.
You sure?
Yes. Oh, perhaps I've been a little preoccupied at work lately, but it's... Aunt, can we change the subject?
We do a lot of that.
What?
Changing the subject. The moment anything gets personal, we talk about something else.
I hadn't noticed that.
I have. I also realize that we really don't know that much about each other.
Well, that's not true. I know about you being in the oil business
See,
before
there you go, changing the subject again. Vicky, we're friends, aren't we?
Yes, of course we are.
I certainly hope so. I know you pick up my evening each time you walk through that door.
You mind, I'm going to have to call it an early evening. I'm really more tired than I thought.
And we never talk about our personal lives. I didn't even know you had a daughter until she came in here.
Please, not tonight.
No, Vicky, I think tonight, we should talk about it. And I really would like you to tell me what it is that's bothering you so much.
What can I do for you?
I was hoping that you might have heard something, or Mr. Wheeler might have heard something about Ricky and the rest of them.
No, we haven't.
Oh, darn. I'm so worried about Ruby and them that I don't know what to do.
Well, this is a very difficult time, honey.
It sure is. This waiting is making me crazy. I feel absolutely helpless.
I know how you feel.
I was really hoping that you might have heard something. Hasn't anything happened that could give us a clue?
No, the police have sealed Joel's office. It was broken into by someone. That's all I know about that.
Somebody broke into his office? Now, what does all that mean?
I don't know.
Rena, what are we going to do?
Honey, Grant has a lot of people working on this.
Well, I'm glad Mr. Wheeler is dealing with this.
Well, they'll come up with something.
Oh, I sure hope so. You know, the more I think about this, the more dangerous I think it must be.
You're very concerned about Ruby, aren't you?
I'm worried about all of them. But Ruby is my best friend, and if anything happens to her...
Oh, baby, she'll be all right.
I don't know. Maybe I should have gone with her.
Absolutely not. You did exactly what you could do.
This whole mess is so confusing.
I know that. Have you been able to think of anything else?
I spent all afternoon going over it in my mind. I can't think of another thing. But I've decided that the worst part is waiting with nothing to do.
Well, there was nothing else you could do.
No, that's not true. I've decided to take matters into my own hands.
Now, Lurleen, if you are planning to go to the police, please tell me and Grant before you do that.
I'm not going to do that. I went to the police once before and I wasn't too successful.
Well, then what are you going to do?
I'm going to start a little investigation of my own.
Now, what does that mean?
I intend to find out everything I can about that Gretchen Randolph.
The statue
Ricky, she's waking up.
It's okay, Brett. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Mark.
It's okay.
Mark. He's fine, honey. He's sleeping. He's fine.
The statue. Get it. The statue.
Why didn't he tell me he was leaving?
Because he wanted you to stay here with
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have let him go. He shouldn't be out there alone.
She's the only one I can latch onto that I knew had a part of all this.
That's right.
You see, when Gretchen was holding the gun on Ruby, I thought she'd gone crazy. But what if the whole thing had been a lie?
What do you mean?
What if she'd been lying to us from the beginning? That might not even be her real name.
That's right.
So I decided to find out who she really was.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I already started. I went to the manager of our apartment house.
What did he say?
Well, that's the strange thing. He didn't even know a thing about her.
Didn't she sign the lease?
That's the thing. He said he didn't know a thing about her. He said a man came and paid 6 months' rent in advance in cash.
There's no way of tracing it.
And he said the man was very specific about which apartment he wanted.
The one next to yours.
That's right. Now, he didn't mention our names, but he knew the apartment number of her apartment and that it was vacant.
Honey, I think you're on to something.
The man said that a friend of his would be using the apartment, a Gretchen Randolph, and that she wouldn't want to be disturbed.
I'm going to tell Gran about this.
That's not all.
What else?
Well, when we got our apartment, we were told that it would be a real good deal. And that's the truth.
What do you mean?
Well, it turns out that apartment cost a whole lot more than we could ever afford. The manager let out that it costs $2,000 a month. Rena, we only pay $500.
Well, did he say why?
No. I mean, I didn't think that he knew that we only paid $500, and I didn't want to tell him.
Lurleen, I think that somebody was setting you up.
There was the fire compass, and our getting that apartment, and Gretchen next door. We were being set up. Now, what I can't figure out is what this is all about, and who's behind it.
Can't you tell me what's wrong, Vicky?
Really, there is nothing wrong.
No?
No.
Vicki, you are an exceptional woman. You're very successful, but there is something missing.
Does it seem that way to you?
Of course it does. I don't know anything about your daughter, or if you have a family, if there's a man in your life.
There are some things that I don't want to talk about.
Look, I know it's painful, but sometimes it helps to talk.
Now you're beginning to sound like Rena.
Well, maybe that's because we both care about you. We can see that you're holding something inside.
Hunt, I have a few problems, but so does everyone else.
Sometimes it helps to share those problems. You'd be surprised at how well people understood.
Like you?
Like me. I'm a very good listener.
Sure you are.
And more importantly, I'm your friend. Let me help.
This is very difficult for me.
I understand that. You're a strong woman and you don't complain, but Vicki, I've learned that sometimes holding things inside is not necessarily a sign of strength.
Rena wants me to talk to her, but I can't do it. She's my daughter, and it's all too close to her.
Is there something about your marriage?
Yes. And the subject's very emotional for Rena, and I'm afraid it might hurt her.
You won't hurt me.
Well, I thought that I had a very sound marriage, that everything was fine.
Huh?
Apparently I was wrong.
You're having problems with your husband?
Yes. He travels a lot on business. And, well, we'd had our problems in the past, but we'd made a new start. At least that's what I thought.
Vicki, it helps to talk about it. Believe me, I know I've been there.
It seems there's someone else. It's very painful.
I know, you must be asking yourself 1,000 questions.
I don't know how I feel.
Do you think the marriage is over?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Vicki, I'm sorry. I really am.
I thought my whole life was settled and arranged, and now everything's changed.
It's a scary feeling hanging out there in limbo.
I feel so alone. I don't know what's going to happen when he comes back.
Vicki, you're a wonderful woman.
Am I? No. I walk through my life. I go through the motions.
Yeah, but you keep on going. That's good.
I don't know what else to do.
Well, we both know there are other possibilities.
I never thought I could talk to anyone about this.
I'm glad you did. Vicki, you don't ever have to cover up in front of me, okay?
Thank you.
I know how much this hurts.
It does. I can't believe how much it hurts.
Well, evening, Donna.
Hi.
Where were you? I was beginning to worry about you.
I had to go see someone.
And who was that?
The man that gave Allison that money.
Mr. Hannibal. Good evening, gentlemen. Bourbon, I presume.
Well, thank you kindly.
Thank you for stopping by. How are things progressing?
Fine, Hannibal, just fine.
Yeah, we just had a meeting with Justin Marshall. Had a nice, long talk. And he's agreed to serve as honorary chairman for Ricky Decker's campaign.
Good. So you can see, Mr. Hannibal, that we have everything just about ready to start.
And very efficiently.
So the question is, what do we do next?
Well, I think you should tell me.
Well, now, I think that's pretty straightforward. First of all, we've got to get the boy in the public's mind.
And in the political context, we have to show them that he's more than just a singer.
I suppose you're right.
You have any other thoughts on the subject?
To tell you the truth, Mr. Barnes, I haven't been giving it much thought.
Mr. Hannibal, I think it's time we have a serious talk.
Yes?
Now, is there any particular reason why you're stalling us on this?
You think I'm stalling you?
Well, we don't seem to be making much progress.
I have been very busy. I've been tied up on a project that's just about to come to a head. As soon as it's resolved, I assure you I'll be able to pay full attention to the campaign.
Well, sir, if you'll excuse me, you're going to have to. Now, the pre-campaign work, setting up the organization, is just as important as the campaign itself.
That's right, Mr. Hannibal. And we need to know that you're behind us.
I've already assured you of that.
Well, now, let me put it another way. Mr. Barnes and I have invested considerable time in this project. Now, we don't like to waste time.
You think I'm wasting your time?
We are concerned. We're doing our part.
And you want to make sure I'm doing mine?
That's right. Now, we ain't real crazy about secrets, Mr. Hannibal. They get in the way.
You seem to have quite a few of them.
Now, we've been right up front with you. We'd appreciate it if you'd be the same with us.
Rena, I was just about to call you.
I was at the office. Thought I'd drop by on my way home and see how you were doing.
I'm glad you did. Would you like a drink?
Please. How did the meeting go with your attorney?
Yeah, not very well.
Want to talk about it?
It's the same old thing, Rena. Judith is making more demands.
What now?
She wants full disclosure of my holdings at World Oil.
What?
That's right.
Well, what does she want that for?
Well, to sweeten the pot, to put more money in the settlement.
I thought that was already taken care of.
Apparently not.
Oh, Grant. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. You certainly don't need this right now.
Well, Gordon tells me that I should have gotten a divorce a long time ago. I just didn't pay any attention. Actually, I avoided the last stages. I just wanted to get out.
And now it's dragging on and on.
Well, I know I'm responsible for the breakup of the marriage.
You've made a mistake. You know, people do that once in a while.
But I really feel that I was fair in that settlement. I really do, Rena.
This isn't your doing, Grant. This is Judith.
She's out for blood. And it isn't the money, although I'm plenty angry about that.
What is it then?
I think that she's doing this just to get at us.
What do you mean?
I think she wants to make it as ugly as possible. Make it hurt.
If you're talking about your children, they're very strong.
Oh, I know. I was thinking of something else.
What?
Rena, this just makes it that much harder for us.
I know. I've been thinking about that, too.
Have you?
Yes, and I don't want you to worry about it. First of all, what we have is very solid. We can get through this. And secondly, you have too much on your mind right now.
Did you talk with Lurleen?
Yes?
Well, did she have anything to add?
I think she has a possible lead.
What?
She's been asking a lot of questions, and I think she's on the right track. She wants to find out everything she can about Gretchen Randolph.
What would you like to do?
Oh, something Cole Porter.
I got a kick out of you?
Great. You're all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true? I get a kick out of you. Some like their perfume from Spain. I'm sure that if I took even one sniff, it would bore me terrifically too. But I get a kick out of you.
Lurleen said that Gretchen is the only one she's absolutely sure is involved in this whole thing. But then she realized how little she really knows about her.
Well, what does she know about it?
Nothing conclusive, but it's very interesting.
What?
Lurleen went to the manager of her apartment building to ask about Gretchen. It turns out that Gretchen didn't rent the apartment herself. Some man showed up and paid 6 months' rent in advance, in cash.
Well, that means that we have nothing to check into.
Right. But then Lurleen found out something else. Apparently, when Lurleen and Ruby rented their apartment, the agent said they were getting some special kind of deal. Right now, they're paying $500 a month for their apartment, but the manager let it slip that an apartment that size and that location should go more for $2,000 a month. Now, it seems to me that whoever is behind Gretchen Randolph also wanted to keep close tabs on Lurleen and Ruby.
Well, that makes sense.
There's more. The man who rented the apartment was very specific on the actual location. He wanted it right next door to Lurleen and Ruby.
Well, then there's the connection. But Lena, why or what would anybody want with those two particular girls?
Well, I think that they were after that fire compass that Ginny was talking about.
Did Lurleen mention how Gretchen got a hold of that thing in the first place?
No, I don't think that Lurleen even knew where it came from.
Well, that might be the key to the whole thing.
All right, I'll talk to Lurleen again.
Please do.
Maybe this is the break we're looking for.
Yes, if it tells us whoever is behind this thing. And also whatever it is that they're after.
And who was it that gave Allison that money?
A man named Hannibal.
Who's that?
Would you like a drink?
Oh, yeah, please. Well, who is this Hannibal?
He handled my Aunt Hilda's finances for years.
You mean he's here in Houston?
He's been there for several months. He's not a good man, believe me.
Why do you say that?
Because I know him. He's despicable.
You're really fired up about him, aren't you?
You bet I am. Oh, he's powerful, all right. But he only uses it to push people around.
Well, how well do you know him?
Well, like I said, he handled Aunt Hilda's finances. He takes responsibility for the inheritance left to me and Allison, Gregory.
How come you never told me about this before? That's real strange.
I didn't want you to collide with him.
Why?
Justin, you don't know what this man is like.
Actually, I can handle powerful men. That's my business.
Justin, please. I don't even like to talk about this man.
Well, you say that he handled Aunt Hilda's finances. She must have trusted him, huh?
But I don't, okay?
You know, I think I'd like to meet this guy.
What, Justin?
You say he's as powerful as he is. He knows his way around money. I can't afford not to.
Justin, please.
Especially if he's involving himself with my family.
Justin!
Well, I think I'll check this guy out.
Justin, have you not been listening to a word that I've been saying?
If this guy is as tough as you say he is, Ashley, Marshall Oil could use it.
No.
Why not? You know the old adage. It's better to have the man on the inside of the tent spitting out rather than having him spitting in.
Justin, listen to me. This man is dangerous. He's not getting anywhere near Marshall Oil.
We are in the big leagues now. We can't afford to be afraid of powerful men.
Listen to me. He can hurt us. I'm telling you the truth.
No, I just think you're overreacting because he gave a little money to Allison.
No, it's more
I
than
can
that.
see your point. I mean, he interfered, but you're just going to have to see mine, darling.
Justin, promise me that you will not see that man.
I can't do that, darling. You say this man is powerful. I'm just partial to powerful people.
honey for the biscuits if you prefer it, Brian.
No, thanks, dear. These strawberry preserves are great.
What about you, Jenny?
All I really want is coffee, thanks.
But you really should eat something, especially if you're going to drive all the way into town to Miles' funeral.
Well, it's not a funeral, it's a memorial service.
You sure you don't want me to go with you? After all, I did know the man, even though I wasn't as friendly to him as I should have been.
You had your reasons.
I misjudged him.
That wasn't your fault, Kate.
I could drive you in. I'm going into town anyway. I want to see Lurleen. I'm concerned about her.
What's wrong with her?
I don't know. But she's been keeping secrets and lying to everyone. That's not like Lurleen.
Sure isn't.
Well, I think it's time I have a good talk with her.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I want to know exactly what's going on.
Ginny, since Kate's going into Houston, why don't you wait a while and you can ride in with her?
No, thank you both, but this is something I'd rather do on my own.
Thank you. No, what I want you to do is concentrate your efforts on Gretchen Randolph and the people who are behind her. Yeah, that's right. All right, keep in touch. And, Parker, remember, every second counts.
I take it Barker hasn't been able to turn up anything yet.
No, but he's got his best men working on it.
Well, what about Gretchen's apartment? Wasn't there anything there?
No? What you told me yesterday. It was all cash. There are no receipts, no records, no nothing.
Very professional.
Yes, it was.
No leads, huh?
No. Oh, the real estate agent came up with a description of the man who did conduct the transaction.
Is that it?
Huh? Afraid so.
Grant, don't you think it's about time we go to the police?
No. Not yet. But if I don't come up with something, I'm afraid I'm going to have to.
It's the Miocene with the Vaquero sandstone and the clay. And then it's the Pliocene, and then... What's next? Miles, you know the answer. Help me.
It's all right, Brett. I'm here.
El Dios de Oro. He knows. He knows. It's Mayan, or else it... Oh, you tell the Mayans. El Dios de Oro. Él tiene la respuesta. The answer. The answer. Ricky.
Brett, do you know me?
Yes, I know you. Yes.
How do you feel?
That's not important right now. Now listen to me, Ricky. The statue, the one by the pond, do you have it?
No, you left it back there when you were bitten by the snake.
You have to get it.
Brett, there's lots of time.
No, there isn't any time. Ricky, listen, you have to get the statue, because without the statue, we're not...
Brett, no, you can't stand. You're too weak.
You gotta get the statue.
All right, Brett. All right, if it's that important to you, we'll get the statue.
Promise? Please?
Yes. Brett, I promise. I'll get the statue. Rest.
Statue.
I'll get the statue.
El Dios de Oro. And muestre el camino. Yes, Miles, you tell him. Professor Enquist. Floods came next. And then snakes. Isn't that right? Isn't it? Miles?
It's right. Anything you say.
howdy, ladies. We saw your sign.
We knew you weren't open.
But we thought you might take pity on a couple of old boys who were just drying a roughneck on a suitcase rock.
Hi, Mr. Barnes, Mr. Vidray, come on in.
I told you, Boots, this pretty lady has an hospitable heart.
The usual?
Oh, yeah. You know, Boots, the more I in this little place, the more I feel at home.
You know, now, funny that you should say that, Hawker, because I was just thinking we ought to turn this place into our regular base of operations.
Oh, well, that'd be just fine with me.
Oh, little missy, I tell you, you're a real lifesaver.
Yes, sirree, that's what you are.
Well, I'm glad to be of service.
Where's that pretty little partner of yours?
She's away.
Still? Boy, howdy, I tell you, she's sure hard to pin down.
Well, what do you hear from Ricky?
Yeah, well, now, last time we were here, you told us that he was up in the Panhandle visiting kinfolk.
Seems like he's been gone quite a while. Or maybe those relatives are doing more poorly than he thought.
Maybe, I don't know, I hadn't heard.
How about you? That brother of yours been in touch about them relatives up in Armstrong County?
No. No, I haven't heard from him at all.
Well, that's good, because if it was anything serious like a funeral, I'm sure he'd send word.
Well, we just stopped by to wet our whistles. Gotta be getting along.
We're going to give this place a lot of serious thought. There you go. And now just hold on to that, little missy.
Yeah, this place may need to be gussied up a little bit. But once you've had the painter in, it could be about the finest meeting place in all of Houston.
Well, I don't want to make any changes. I like the cook the way it is.
Well, so do we, little darling, but everything in life can stand some improvement.
We'll make up a list and go over it together.
And someday when you and that pretty little partner of yours can spare the time.
Yep. Goodbye, ladies. Thank you for the Texas welcome.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Papa, you think painful will be enough?
Well, I'll tell you.
What was that all about? I don't know. But I like the coop just fine. I don't want anybody coming in here and making changes.
Right, here we are. Okay, let me get the light.
Where do you want me to put it?
Oh, right there, by Madame Laconga.
Are you sure you don't want me to take you home? It's no problem.
No, I called Paige and I told her since our flight was so early I would come straight here and open up the shop. Anyway, I can take this stuff home later if I want to.
Well,
Oh.
have you any idea how successful this trip was?
Well, I don't know how successful it was, but I sure had fun.
Does that surprise you?
Oh, I was petrified before we left.
Well, you didn't have any reason to be.
Well, I know that now. I had no idea what I was getting myself in for. I really thought I would make a fool of myself.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, I guess not.
They loved you. And more important than that, they loved your designs.
We certainly sold a lot, didn't we?
You are going to be a major force in the fashion world.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Now, you'd better get used to the idea of being a celebrity. You're going to be one before long.
Roger, this is all happening much too fast. Billy Joe!
Hi, Billy Joe.
Hi. Listen, honey, I'm sorry I couldn't pick you up at the airport, but, I couldn't get a sitter for Billy Joe Jr. until about 8:30.
It's all right. It's all right.
Well, did you have a nice trip?
Oh, your wife was sensational. With her looks and personality, this is going to be the easiest marketing campaign I've ever run. What do you mean? Well, your wife's natural. I mean, she had those buyers eating out of her hands. They loved her.
Well, sounds like everything went real well, huh?
Oh, honey, it did. Oh, I never had so much fun in my whole life.
Hi, what are you doing here?
I'm a very impatient man, Paige.
Well, you are.
Uh-huh. I've given you enough time to think.
Oh, a couple of days isn't very long.
It seems like an eternity.
TJ,
Paige, look, I know you pretty well. You must have reached some decision by now.
You're right, I have.
In that case, can I come in? I'd like to know what the decision was.
thought this was a business trip. What did you do that was so much fun?
Oh, it was all fun. There was the meeting of the clients, and there was the giving of the interview.
Yeah, your wife left a trail of broken hearts. Do you remember that guy at Forster's in Chicago?
The vice president with the champagne.
You had that poor man mesmerized.
You know, I think I did. You wouldn't have believed it, Billy Joe. This very distinguished gentleman kept acting like I was some sort of glamorous movie queen.
Well, what's so funny about that, huh? I mean, you are glamorous, huh?
Well, no, I guess you had to be there because this little guy kept bringing me these hors d'oeuvres.
And filling your champagne
I
glass.
could not get rid of him.
Oh, you got rid of the champagne, though. You poured it in the aquarium.
Roger, that is not true.
Oh, yes, it is. Somewhere in Chicago, there's a very happy goldfish.
Well, I can see you two had a pretty good time up there, huh?
I got to get a move on. It's going to be a busy day.
Oh, it is?
Yep, I got a feeling I'm going to be getting a lot of orders for your designs.
Well, I hope you're right.
Oh, I am. I know talent when I see it. And when it's packaged as attractively as you are, well, then I know I got a winner on my hands. I'll give you a call a little later.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for letting Nita go. She had a wonderful time.
Yeah, well, looks to me like you both had a wonderful time.
What was that business about Ricky being up in the Panhandle visiting some relatives? I don't know. We don't even have relatives in the Panhandle. You don't? No, why would you say something like that? It was Ruby's idea. Ruby's? Well, then why would she say something like that? Well, I don't know. She said that Ricky wanted him to think that. You see, those two men have some kind of investment in Ricky's career, and Ruby said that if they came around to pretend like he was up in the Panhandle visiting relatives, so that's what I did.
Oh. You seem upset, Lurleen.
I am. I don't know what to do about those two men wanting to make changes here at the coop. Now, if Ruby were here, she'd know how to stop them. But I don't know how I can do it on my own.
But you're the owner of the coop. Now, you don't have to make any changes unless you want to.
I really like Mr. Barnes and Mr. Boudreaux. They've been so nice to me. I want to keep them happy if I can.
You do keep them happy. You keep all your customers happy by making them feel so welcome here.
I just don't think the coop would work if it were all painted and fancy. There are plenty of fancy places in Houston. The coop is special.
You're right. The coop is kind of homey. You know, people come here to relax and just let their hair down.
I wouldn't be happy working in a fancy place. The coop suits me. It's plain and everyday.
Now, don't go putting yourself down.
I'm not. It's just that I know what I am, and I'm nothing special.
But that's where you're wrong. You are very, very special.
You're just saying that to make me feel good.
No, I'm not. Now, I'm being serious, Lurleen. You're very special. Look, you care about your friends. You care about people.
Of course I do. Doesn't everybody?
No. No, they don't. You know, you have this unique way of making everybody feel real important. You know, you bring out the best in people. And that's about as special as you can get.
I don't know. She could be anywhere. This place is a regular labyrinth.
I know, it makes me nervous. Well, at least she's got one less gun.
You know, Ruby, I had her and I let her get away.
It was my fault.
No, it wasn't your fault. You were only trying to help.
No, if I hadn't screamed out like that, she might not have slipped away from you.
Right. And then she would have killed me. Ruby, you saved my life. She's asleep now, but the fever seems to be breaking. She's having lucid moments.
Thank God. Did she say anything?
Yeah, she asked about the statue. It must be awful important to her.
Why?
I don't know, but she made me promise I'd go recover it for her.
You're not going to go risk your life for the statue, are you?
I promised her, Ruby.
But Ricky, that pond is filled with snakes. They're poisonous.
I know.
They almost killed Brad.
Ricky, I'm gonna take care of this.
That won't be necessary.
Look, you stay with Brett. She needs you. Ruby and I can take care of that statue.
I'm not going anywhere near those snakes.
Ruby, Brett is the only one that can find our way out of here. If she said she needs that statue, then we better get it for her.
I hate snakes.
Fine, I'll go by myself.
Now, wait a minute. I'm the one that should be going with you.
No.
I think somebody should stay here in case Gretchen comes.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Well, after yesterday's encounter, I hope we scared her off for a while.
I wouldn't count on it. That girl doesn't scare easy. Believe me, I should know.
Here, take this.
Thanks. Look, you keep an eye out, okay?
I'll be right there with her.
Good. You ready?
About as ready as I'm ever gonna be.
Let's go.
I'm warning you, though, if those snakes so much as look at me, I'm not gonna be responsible for what I do.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about our relationship the last couple of days.
So have I. Even when I should have had my mind on other things.
I know what you mean.
Sometimes I'll be sitting at my desk in my office, going over some oil leases, and all of a sudden, right down there in the fine print, all I see is Page Marshall, Page Marshall, Page Marshall. It can be very distracting.
So can you. I've been kind of glad that Nita's been away the last couple of days. I've done some pretty strange things at the boutique myself.
So where do we go from here?
Oh, TJ, you know I love you. But you hurt me. You and Ashley both hurt me by withholding the truth from me.
Paige, there was nothing
I know that. It wasn't the relationship, it was the lie.
We had to lie for Ashley's sake.
I understand that. Don't forget, I know Justin better than anybody. I'm his sister. I know you had to lie to protect their marriage. But it's a problem, TJ, and it's going to continue to be a problem.
For Justin and Ashley, yes.
You don't think that lie is ever going to come between us?
It's not our lie.
I've also been doing a lot of thinking about worrying about Justin and Ashley's marriage.
And?
I finally just had to put it aside. I mean, if you spend so much time worrying about other people's troubles, then you can let your own life pass you by. And I think it's worth the risk. I mean, what we have can be very special.
It already is very special.
And I think we should just build on that. We know the dangers and we know the people that could be easily hurt.
So we'll just have to
and
do
I
something
love
to
you
avoid
so
that.
much, TJ Canfield.
Paige.
Now, but wait a minute. Before I make any kind of commitment to you, I want something from you, TJ.
What?
I want to promise no more lies, no more secrets.
You have my word. I can't live with lies, Paige. That's why I insisted on telling you the truth. I've waited so long to find someone like you. Someone that I could love. A few days ago, I thought I was going to lose you. I couldn't have handled that.
Neither could I, darling.
Ryan, what are you doing here?
Oh, just working. I gotta finish up these contracts for Rena.
Well, why don't you go in the study? There's a desk and everything.
I like it better out here.
Isn't it more convenient in there?
Well, it's kind of lonely in there. See, when I work here, I feel a little closer to you, especially when you're gone.
Honey, I'm sorry you were lonely.
How was the service, huh?
Very sad. It was almost as... It didn't even seem like it was like Miles. As a person, I mean. Oh, there were a few professors there from the university and students, and talked about his work and his reputation. It didn't seem like many of them even knew him very well.
Does that surprise you?
No. Well, I suppose not. Just that so many of the kids were like Brett. They just adored Miles.
Well, that was his professional side, but his personal side was a lot different. See, the real Professor Rehnquist was a mystery. He kept everybody at arm's length.
No, he didn't.
Honey, he kept secrets. Secrets always come between a man and the people who love him.
It wasn't his fault.
I didn't say it was.
You resent those secrets, don't you? You resent the fact that he shared them with me.
I wish you'd trusted me.
I promised Miles I wouldn't betray his confidence, not even to you. Honey, he was frightened. He had the knowledge of High-Topa, and he knew it was dangerous, and he didn't want to put other people in danger.
But he did, didn't he? And now Miles is dead, and maybe 4 other people are dead.
Oh, no, Ryan.
Honey, was it really worth it keeping a secret?
Okay? Huh?
Okay, so far.
I don't see any snakes.
I don't either. Yet.
Come on. Let's look for that statue.
I wish I knew why we were doing this.
Look, you pull out of the gun. I'm gonna go in and see what I can find.
No, Mark, don't go in there!
Ruby, you got any other suggestions?
No, the snakes, they could come up any minute. They could be right under the surface.
I doubt it.
Mark, you can't trust snakes.
No, you're right. There it is.
Oh, Grant. If only we knew where High-Topa was. But you've seen that map room. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, no, but we're going to find it. When we do, I'm going there.
And I'm going with you.
Oh, no, you're not.
Grant.
Rena, there are too many people that I care about that are already in danger. I'm not adding you to that list. Just a minute. Yes? Oh, put him on. It's my attorney. Yeah, Gordon, what can I do for you? Was there any way we can avoid that? All right, then let's meet it head on. Call my accountant. He's got all the information you need. Yeah. What? Gordon, I don't think that I can deal with any more bad news right now. What is it? What? She what? What does she want to do that for? Well, I don't suppose I can stop her, can I? All right. All right. Goodbye, Gordon.
And now the divorce.
Yeah. Judith claims that she's worried about Brett and Mark. And she won't be satisfied till she comes here, to Houston.
Ruby! Get over here! Go inside! Give me your hand! Hurry!
Gretchen!
Lurleen,
Oh, Miss Kate!
I hoped I'd find you here this afternoon.
What are you doing in Houston?
I want to have a talk with you
What about?
about a lot of things, Lurleen.
What's wrong? You seem really upset about something.
I am.
Can I get you ginger ale?
No, thank you, honey.
Well, what is it? What is it you wanted to talk to me about?
Ruby and Mark have gone to that Indian place, haven't they? They're gone to help Ricky and Brett. You know that.
Well, how did you know that?
Well, it doesn't make any difference how I know it. But you know it too, and you've known it all along.
Yes, ma'am. I have.
And you know a lot about Miles Rehnquist too, don't you?
Why are you asking me all this?
Because I want to know why you're lying to everyone.
I really had a great time. I really loved every minute of it. And in 2 weeks, we're going to do it all again.
What do you mean?
We're going to be going back to New York City and Chicago.
Why?
Well, we have to do some follow-up calls, and Roger's setting up some more interviews. He might even be getting me on one of those syndicated talk shows in Chicago.
Nita, you said you didn't want to do a TV show.
Oh, when did I say that?
When I asked you to be on my show and you turned me down.
Oh, that's different.
How's it different?
Well, I wasn't ready then.
And you're ready now.
Uh-huh. I learned a lot from this trip. But the most important thing I learned is that I have absolutely nothing to be frightened of.
Nita, you didn't have anything to be frightened of before. I would have been there with you all the time.
No, honey, that's not what I mean. I made a lot of discoveries about myself from this trip.
Like what?
Well, I found out I really am a very talented designer, and I have a lot to give.
Well, you sure have come a long way from waiting tables at Maggie's.
Does that bother you?
No. What bothers me, Nita, is that you're taking another trip.
But, honey, we talked all about this before.
I know we talked about that, but we didn't talk about you and this Roger guy getting so friendly.
Of course we're friendly. We're business associates.
Yeah, well, me and Justin are business associates, too, but you don't see me kissing him goodbye.
Oh, you. Honey, that's just the way the people in the fashion industry act. It doesn't mean anything. Come here. Don't you know that you're the most important man in the world to me? Don't you know that?
2 weeks, Nita.
Honey, I'm happy now. Can't you be happy for me? Huh?
I never meant to harm anyone.
I know.
It's just that I wanted to protect you. Miles and I wanted to protect all of you.
But you can't protect people by keeping them in the dark. If you and Miles had just told us, maybe we could have done something.
I don't know. Just that all those people that were after Miles were so determined. They were so violent.
But your secrecy didn't save Miles, did it?
No. But it may save other lives. When I realized that Steve had that fire compass in his possession.
Honey, if you had talked to Steve, he would have known what the fire compass was, and he could have given it back to Miles.
I don't know. Maybe you're right, Ryan. I'm just so confused. I feel...
No, look, I'm sorry. Here I am dumping all this guilt on you. You're not to blame. I know that.
But it was my decision.
No, I should have been here. I never should have gone to Venezuela. Then you would have been forced to make this whole decision on your own.
Yes. Yes. If we would have found him in the storm that night, and we could have faced this danger together.
No, it's over. It's over. I've got to stop dwelling on what's over and done with, that's all.
But it's not over. What about Ricky and Brett and
We're going to do
Mark?
everything we can to help them.
I talked to Grant about the security force.
No, we have to do more. We just have to concentrate, try to remember everything that Miles said.
All right.
And there's one more thing we have to do.
What?
We have to promise each other that we're never going to let a secret come between us again.
Never again.
Richard, this is where it ends for me. Richard! Nita, I'm trying to be happy for you, but it's not easy. Not when I'm so worried about us.
There's nothing to be worried about.
Nita, I'm afraid of your success. I'm afraid it's going to get in the way of our marriage.
There's no need to be. Your success doesn't get in the way. Why should mine?
That's just the point, Nita. My success is getting in the way. What with all the pressure, all the preparation time it takes, all those nights I'm spending taping those stupid commercials for Ace High Gas Pump Bingo. Nita, it's taking its toll.
But we're living with it, aren't we? Huh?
So far, yeah. So far, we're living with one success, but I don't think we can hold up under two.
Yes, we will. We're gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. We'll see.
Well. You made it. How's the world?
Well, I'm doing pretty well.
Well, it must agree with you. You look terrific.
I feel terrific. I've never had so much fun in my whole life.
Oh, honey.
The first afternoon when we got to New York, we had 5 meetings.
Hey, look, I got to get going. I got to get back to the studio, all right?
Oh, can't you stay a couple more minutes?
No, I got to get the show to do. I can't keep people waiting. You understand that, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye, Billy Joe.
Bye.
Well, what was that all about?
I just told Billy Joe I'd be taking another trip, and, well, he didn't take it too well.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'd hoped he'd be more understanding.
Well, he's trying, I know that, but it's hard for him. Oh, I don't understand this. I thought success was supposed to solve your problems, not create new ones.
I never wanted to lie about anything. I hate lying.
Well, if you hate it so much, what made you do it?
I had to.
There is no justification for lying, Lurleen.
Yes, ma'am.
Now then, I want the truth.
What about?
Everything.
You mean about Professor Rehnquist?
Well, that's as good a place as any to start with.
Yes, ma'am, I suppose I can start there.
Well?
Well, I only met Professor Rehnquist once. He came to our apartment looking for something, only Ruby and me didn't know what for.
It was the fire compass.
Yes, ma'am, we found that out later on.
Well, what happened when Professor Rehnquist came to your apartment?
Well, he went away. Then one afternoon, I came back to the apartment and I found him lying on the floor dead on my painting cloth in the living room.
Why didn't you call the police?
I was too scared. I went and got Ruby and we came back and the body was gone. Ruby thought that, well,
We both thought that I had imagined it. And that's why I went to see Dr. Ohlendorf, the psychiatrist, and he convinced me that I was hallucinating.
But you weren't hallucinating, were you?
No, ma'am. But we didn't know that for sure until Ruby was kidnapped.
Ruby was kidnapped?
Yes, ma'am. By our next-door neighbor, Gretchen Randolph.
Well, Brian told me about Gretchen, but I find that hard to believe.
Well, so did we. But when Ruby was kidnapped, that's when we found out that Professor Rehnquist was really dead and that Gretchen did it.
Well, why didn't you go to the police then?
I did. Ruby went with me, but I guess they didn't believe me.
Poor child. Now, why didn't you come to me?
I couldn't. I promised Ruby that I wouldn't get anybody else involved.
Don't you see now what that girl has put you through? The pain that she's caused you?
She hasn't caused me any pain. She's my friend.
Honey, Ruby is no friend to you. No true friend.
She is my friend. She is the best friend that I've ever had, and now I may lose her forever.
I hate to see you
I never should have let her go to High Topa alone. She's gonna get killed, and it's all gonna be my fault.
Lurleen. Honey, why don't you come back to the ranch with me? Now, Jenny and Ryan are there. We can see you through this.
No. I have to stay here. If Ruby needs help, she's gonna call here or at the apartment.
Honey, I hate to see you so upset.
Ruby's the one you should be worried about.
Sorry, Lurleen. Honey, I didn't mean to scold.
I know you meant well.
You know, I feel like you're my own granddaughter.
Sometimes I feel like that too. Miss Kate, what am I going to do if anything happens to Ruby?
Well, it's not surprising that Judith is concerned about her children.
You know, when she gets here, she's gonna be in an awful lot of trouble.
Is she really that vindictive?
Oh, yes, she can be.
Why?
Well, I wasn't exactly the perfect husband.
And you're not the one who went off with someone half as young as you were.
Oh, well, that probably gave her enough cause to do that. You see, ours wasn't exactly the equal partnership. I'm afraid she carried most of the burden.
I don't believe that.
Oh, that's true. I was so wrapped up in my business life that I left the children and the house pretty much up to her. I didn't have any time for my family.
According to modern psychologists, it's not the quantity of time, but the quality of time.
You sure have a habit of saying the right things at the right time.
I'm not flattering you. I'm telling you the truth. I know. It was the same way with Stryker. He was gone a lot. But whenever he was there, we had some good times.
Zella, you haven't heard from Stryker, have you, or have you?
Not since he's gone to Cuernavaca.
You want to talk about that?
If you don't mind, I'd rather not. Not right now. I'd rather talk about us.
Stay tuned. Texas will be right back.